Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, as long as it's not work-related.
Jay!
B!
How's it going?
Great, bro.
I want to welcome everyone to the Work-Related Podcast.
We are related by work on Twitter.
Yes, on X, and we are back in the studio, but not back on X because somebody won't post.
When was that? Why did you bring that up? Like, who cares if I post?
I want to see you post.
Post what? Well, first of all, I was going to say it's glad to be back, but now I feel attacked right off the get-go. When the fuck did you ever post?
I posted the episode is out.
No, you don't even do that anymore. That doesn't happen anymore. That hasn't
Jay,
happened
this
for...
is not about me, okay?
Yeah, you want to start getting it. It's not a
this is
thing.
about you getting back on your Twitter algorithm, okay?
I have been. I've been bouncing. So I bounce back and forth. I mean, I wasn't even going to get to this.
People miss you.
They don't fucking miss me. The people could care less about fucking me. I swear to you. Thank you, people. I appreciate them listening. But there's nothing I bring to Twitter.
Says who?
It says me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it says the response to the things I've put up there before. And yeah, it's like the people know that I'm not very good at sharing. I don't know. That's why I like talking. I should overshare in fucking talking too much.
Yeah.
I don't know what to post. I don't even, like I said, I'm not
Post
living.
selfies.
The only selfies I'm taking are the ones that I take once a week after I go on the scale, and those hopefully maybe come out one day, but we'll talk about that at a
You
different
have
time.
to let those out.
But yeah, I'm not ready to show the world those yet. The fact that you're right. I don't know how to be engaging like that. Like I tried it at first or whatever and then do some things, even when like Big Brother would be on, checking shit out. But when you're not up to date with everything, then everything becomes a spoiler.
Yeah.
Right. And so I kind of try to avoid that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then, you know, not to get hold back in things. And I would find when the whole algorithm changes, like, oh, I'm too much into what we talk about here and how it's more skewed to like red pill type of conversation, or it's talking about government issues and other things that I think I know what I'm talking about. Like, I hated how I sounded a whole bunch of times, like leading up to the election, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then that's when we talked about me leading back to my comedians and sports stuff and all that. So now I've found what I do now is have no room to comment on anything because I'm so confused. I like taking in the information and I don't know what information I want to like to keep or whatever. And on my personal algorithm, I'm getting more. It's so left leaning, right? Like it's so much telling me what's going wrong with the country, now. And my other one is so much because we follow Elon Musk. Like I feel so manipulated by what that stream is.
The left or the right?
The right.
Yeah.
Like I do see like the both sides or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like I do see some, but I follow way more activist type people on the other one. Like not just blue-haired Karens or anything like that, but just more like probably just even more black people, more people that deal in the weed culture, more people that deal in entertainment culture, more like things that are just coming from a less business savvy side, and they're just saying like, you know, they're doing all this shit. Like one of the best things, and it was more from a left side, I don't know if I would have ever got it from my right side thing, was Bill Burr fucking ripping Elon Musk. Like it was.
Oh, he ripped Elon Musk?
Yeah, like it's a great. I'll send you the thing.
Yeah,
but he was just going off a rant, and I haven't really listened to him for a while because I got tired of hearing it because he's just one guy. You know what I mean? Like fucking. I beg you guys don't turn me off, but like one guy just spouting his opinion for so much, and it's funny and it's good, but it just gets kind of tiring or whatever. I don't know. And he was talking about some shit. Like he got flagged for something on Twitter, and he's like, "I'm not even on Twitter anymore." You know what I mean? Like I don't even know what this was and how it came across. And then he just starts ripping him for the Sieg Heil fucking thing that they say. You know, his defense is other people have done this, and then he's like, "Bull fucking shit."
Yeah,
like I don't believe you. He said, and he keeps calling him the Twitter guy. The whole thing is just like, who are you to be doing what you're doing? Like you don't even live. You didn't come from this country, and you're this, and you're telling us how to be. You know what I mean, American.
That's fair.
And he's just like laying into him better than I ever heard before. But I don't think I would have got that promoted on my fucking side.
True.
Because I'm not following Bill Burr. It's like I don't think, and so I'm just getting how Elon Musk is doing great things on that side, and how the other side is like, what's really going on here?
It sounds like you have a good balance, though.
Yeah, but doesn't it make me sound like more confused?
Yeah.
I do have better balance. I think you're
But
right.
it's better balanced because you have both sides. At least you're not just completely. Is it the way you sound confused now? Air quotes. The way you sound confused now. Isn't that better than just sinking into one side and not being confused at all, and just being 100% convinced on whichever side you're sunk into?
Yeah, then I 100% agree, and then I'm grateful for feeling that. Like that's how I want to be.
Yeah.
Like confused is just a word to say. Like I'm not
But it
because I'm always
describes it. It
yeah, I'm
describes
always
it, yeah.
confused. I was
Yeah.
very very confused with, and I'm confused with what's even going on. Like I just don't understand most of it. And when I didn't have that kind of balance, I was almost so convinced I was right about stuff. And it's almost like it's almost better for me to be like that, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to do with that information.
Exactly.
Like it's like
I
other
know-
things we talked about.
Yeah, I was about to say you don't know what to do with other information like tracking your sleep. I don't even see how you would not want to track your sleep. I just don't understand it.
Okay, but because I don't know what to do with the information. It's because I think I know what it's going to tell me. It's going to tell me you need better sleep.
It might not tell you that.
What would it tell me that it was like? I'm not willing to change anything about how
It
I
just
sleep.
tells you how you sleep.
Yeah, I can tell that by the time how I wake up.
If you need better sleep, that's up to you.
I understand. I think I've always need better sleep. Like I've assumed that I need to have better sleeping habits, and I'm not trying to sabotage myself in the sleep realm. Like you're the one who best said it before. I love sleep the most. Why wouldn't I go to? I can't wait to go to bed.
Yeah.
But I love staying up late. You know what I mean? Like you're working late, but like I don't go to bed on the weekend till like 1 o'clock or so, right?
Holy.
And I love sleeping in till fucking 12 o'clock. And it's like it's hard to get up again in the morning and do that. Like I should be changed. I've never been willing to change my schedule from being what it's been my whole life.
You don't need to change it. You just need to track it.
But to what ends?
But just to see, just to see the information. More information is better than no. Yeah, I would be nice for you. You should do this for the people, not for me.
You're lying for you, the people, and then post it.
And post the screenshots. Track your sleep for a week and see what it tells you. I could tell you my sleep for like months. I could
Okay,
go back
but I don't.
months.
I'm not willing to. I go to bed as early as I can every night.
You just do it normally.
No. But
Don't
what I'm going to
change.
say, I'm assuming it's just going to tell me you need to get more sleep.
It doesn't say anything like that. It just tells you like the.
I know
don't-
it's not going to tell me that.
It just says like the type of sleep you like. Like I said, I get like my average. I think is like 5 hours. Do I need more sleep? I don't feel like I need more sleep. I wake up early. I'm not really tired throughout the day. Maybe I'll take a nap every once in a while on the weekend, but I don't feel like I need more sleep with 5. I think 5 hours and 40 minutes is my average.
Yeah. So, so who cares if it's 5 hours 30 or if it's a 6.5 hour night? Like
Simple.
I try to get as much sleep as I can when I can.
Yeah, but sometimes I remember one time I woke up and I was tired and I looked and I had like 9 hours of sleep and I was like, what the hell? So it just informs me that I don't need to be sleeping night. Maybe I already know my sweet spot for sleep is like 5 and 7. That's in my sweet spot. 5 to 7, I'm good. I don't need 8. I don't need 12. I would stay in my bed till 12, sure, but I don't need that to function throughout the day.
There's no way I'm going to wake up earlier than I have to today because I think I might be tired for sleeping too much.
Oh, I'm not doing it either.
Yeah, so who fucking cares? First of all, I don't feel like wearing the
Knowledge
watch
is
sleeping.
power.
What?
Well, yeah.
Power?
Knowledge is power.
I understand that's a true statement. That's
is a
power,
true
but
statement.
I have nothing to. There's nothing for me to do with that knowledge. Like I don't want to wear the sleep,
Jay,
bro.
Jay,
I don't understand.
I get the part where you're saying it doesn't. You don't want to wear the watch to sleep.
Yeah.
That, I can get that.
Yeah.
but to not want to know something just because.
Yeah, I'm trying too hard.
No, yeah,
You-
exactly.
You hear me trying too
exactly.
hard, and I get it, but I'm just standing my ground. Like I don't find the reason to do it. The only reason would to be to placate you, and that's not a good
Not
enough
me,
reason.
the people. The people.
Yes, that's you, the people's champ. The fucking. There's not much of an argument there.
Just 1 week, 7 days is not that bad. How often do you charge your Fitbit? Like
Once a week.
Yeah. You just don't take it off.
Yeah, but that's retarded to me. Like I don't care. Like I told you, I don't even wear it when I'm not working. The fact I have it on today is just a whatever. I didn't even know. I just put it on just for shits and giggles.
Habit.
Because nothing about today is is going to be about improving myself. All I'm going to do today is try to stay on the track that I have been, and I'm very happy about that. I don't know how much the watch has done for that, but I'm not changing what I did. I had from Monday to Thursday, I've had over 26,000 steps every fucking day.
Yeah.
Certain zone workouts, I did all my work has already happened. And now I don't do anything. And so whatever the watch is telling me, I don't even care. Like, that information doesn't mean anything to me.
Yes, it does.
Why? What am I going to do with what I do
You
today?
don't have to do anything. You don't have to do any.
That's why I don't have to wear the watch.
I do 20,000 plus steps a day. As soon as Friday hits, it's like 3,000.
Yeah.
Saturday, it's like 3,000.
So what's the point of wearing? I already know that.
It just shows you your tendencies and your habits and whatnot.
You don't
over
think
a
I already
course of
know what
time.
my habits and tendencies are?
Yeah, but you don't see them. You don't have them.
I see it every day in the mirror and how I feel when I get like all the other things.
For sure, but it's not the same.
It's not written down. I can't go back. It's the same reason why I don't take pictures, I guess. Like, I don't need to see it. I get it. Pictures are more important. That's a whole
Yes,
different
for
side.
sure, for
But
sure.
that information is irrelevant.
No information's irrelevant.
Oh man, you're making I get it, but I don't care to see it.
I care. I mean, the people care to see it. We just want to know. We
Why?
We just want to know. I will post mine.
Yeah, but
if you post it, I'll post mine. I can show
It's
you.
not a thing about I've never even asked.
Yes, you did.
I did not. I never asked if fucking
Jay,
what your sleep patterns are.
We're getting off track here.
No. The people that might want to, they might apparently care about what you do. I don't. The people might.
Jay,
Listen. Like,
I'm
this is what
trying
I'm saying.
here.
Like, even wearing it at work and all that stuff, that's just
Yeah.
curiosity on how much I do at work. The fact that I know that, okay, the information that I've taken from what the amount of steps and zone things or whatever I can do at work. Like, sometimes when I'm doing certain things, it thinks I'm on an outdoor bike.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm sanding fucking that thing down for fucking an hour and a half because of the vibrations, all that kind of shit or whatever, right? And certain things when I'm trying to fucking talk to you and speed up at the end of the day so I can get out of there at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden my heart rate has gone up. You know what I mean? Like, I get a couple of zone minutes in the end of the day because I'm fucking rushing around trying to
Yeah.
finish shit out. And so I've seen that and I go, you know what? I'm thinking of trying to add another day to my workout schedule, right? And I'm thinking at my best, I'm doing the other things and I'm integrating things as best I can when I do it. And I'm very happy on how I'm feeling and doing on that side. And so, like, yeah, you know what? When are you going to, there's a conversation I have with myself. When are you going to add another day to your workout? It's 3 right now. And you managed to fit that in. Like, at your best, you would do 4. Mm-hmm. Would it be on Friday or maybe even a Saturday morning? You know, those would be the 2 other options that I would do it on. Or Thursday again, right? But so I'm like, fuck. And I'm like I could use some more money. Like, fucking, I'm really paying for the time off I had with my hip and all that kind of shit. So it's coming to roost on that. So I'm like, fuck, I should work overtime. I need more money. I'm not working like, there's opportunity from the one place in the world that wants to give me money if I show up. So I'm like, fuck, I should try to show up. But so I'm like, you know what? If I worked a half a day, that would be like working out. If I got up today and worked out before I came here, I would have that information.
Absolutely.
And I would have the results of doing that. And then because I don't work for 3 days in a row, I'm missing out on that's how I got to be a fatter fuck, because I didn't work for 4 months. Missed out on 20,000 steps, you know what I mean? 4 days a week.
Yep.
So why not go to work for half a day, get 12,000 steps in, a couple of zone minutes, and it'd be like almost getting paid to work out.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what I might do, but that's something I can change. Sleeping, I can't change.
You don't have to change. Your watch is not telling you to change.
No, the watch isn't telling me to lose more weight either.
Exactly.
Or get on the bike. It's just saying you haven't hit these goals.
Or it's just
Sleep goals are something, my sleep goal, I think I already know, is get as much as you can.
No.
That's my goal. How is that not the goal of sleep?
No, you know what? It also tells you the type of sleeper you are. It tells you how often you're in deep sleep. It tells you like all these other metrics about your sleep that is interesting to know and interesting to understand. You wake up one morning, you're like, oh, I sleep the same amount of hours as I always do. Why am I so tired? Oh shit. This says I woke up like 6 times last night, or I was awake for 30 minutes. I don't remember being awake for that. Like, there's a lot of metrics in there that you could just, inform yourself as to why something feels different or why you aren't as productive that day. Not so much for future planning, but in hindsight, you can be like, oh man, like one day at work this week, you said you're struggling. We don't know why. What if it was your sleep and you just didn't realize that you just didn't have enough actual sleep deep sleep or REM sleep or whatever it was, and you just didn't know. And you just don't know because you'll never know because you didn't wear your watch to sleep. And now the people and I, because I'm part of the people, want to know. You just never know. You might have some correlation. Maybe it correlates with how you work out and you sleep better, or you don't work out and you do sleep better. You don't know. There's so many things that could... it tests your heart rate. Maybe you're more stressed one day. You couldn't sleep. It all adds together. Like there's a whole bunch of things that you could figure out with more information.
Yep. Like I said, I'm going to try too hard if I try to fight back too much on that because you're not
So you're
wrong.
doing it perfect.
The thing is though, like my assumption is that it's always going to like. I just know that I just don't know what to do with that information. Like I'm not willing. I
You
just
won't
either
know
know.
until you
I,
try.
like, man, you made me miss my fucking point.
Yes,
I was
perfect.
thinking about the fact that I don't care. The goal will always be to get more quality sleep. Whatever that quality of sleep was, I'm dealing with the repercussions at the time. Like I don't know. Like I told you, I go to bed as early as I possibly can, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like I could work. Like I said, I don't sit down from work till like there's nothing I can do about my schedule during the week that is going to be a change.
Yeah.
That I'm willing to change. So, and I can't change when I get up in the morning either. And so, like I said, like I wish I was on the night shift only because me and my watch would be on perfect circadian rhythm or whatever the fuck that is. And I know that. So anything other than that is going to be off skew. And so I just assume that's how I'm going to feel, with or without the information.
Well, that's why you shouldn't assume. You should just check it out and see. For 7 days till next week, episode 148, you could just tell us.
Just to shut you up.
Just to shut me up, because I'm gonna bother you about it all week next week. I'm gonna bother you about it. I don't just
Okay.
Just 7 days. That's all the people are asking for.
We'll
That's
see.
it.
Well, I have to maybe charge my watch during one of them.
No charging your watch.
Oh, I could probably charge it during the day when I'm not doing anything on Sunday.
Yeah,
Right?
okay, I guess. I mean, well, you're just gonna forget.
You know
it.
what? One time it recorded my sleep when I had a nap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you look into it? Or you just said it.
I looked at the stats.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fucking 100 years. No, it was like a few weeks ago or whatever. But I had it on. I didn't do anything on purpose. And you know, it is funny though, because when I do look at all my fucking stats and all that kind of shit, like the glaring thing is, you know what I mean? Like, where your watch to sleep, You know what I mean? Like, because it doesn't show any of the fucking,
The sleep stats.
yeah, no
Yeah,
data.
When I fall asleep.
3 hours and 30 minutes I slept for one time.
What?
Yeah.
Look at that. 3 hours and 30 minutes. You know when you wake up from it, you fall asleep, you don't know how long you slept.
Okay,
You
so
can
for that
actually see it.
for that 3 hours and 30 minutes, I was restless for 13 minutes,
See?
and it shows you the breakdown of it. I was like, okay. There's nothing I would change about my life about that
you don't
information.
Need to change. You don't
Yeah,
need
so
to
why
change.
then I don't need the information?
You don't need to change. You do need
The people cannot
information.
believe that we have talked about this for too long.
Yes, the people are on my side. I can hear them. They're like, Jay, what are you talking about? You gotta track your sleep.
One person other than you gets on fucking Twitter and DMs me and tells me that they cared, then I will do it.
Really?
Other than you.
Deal. No problem.
Oh, no, that's
I
not
got
fair.
a couple burners. It's no problem.
Oh, man, that's fucking hilarious. So
You know, when I fall asleep, my watch puts my phone and my watch on do not disturb, so nothing rings, nothing vibrates at all. So if I fall asleep for a nap, everything goes like my phone will go gray.
Okay.
So I can't even, when I look at it, it's not just like color and vibrant. Like if I woke up and I'd be like, oh shit, I just fell asleep. And then I'll look and then I'll see all my stuff. But yeah, it turns everything off. And that's one way you could change things if you was bothering your wrist, getting calls in the night or vibrations
get calls in
or
the night.
notifications.
What do you think? I
or
get hardly any
anything.
calls.
Booty
No.
calls. I don't know what's going
It's
on.
just easy. Yeah, it's just the annoyance of wearing shit. But I hear you. I'm trying too hard. I'm just do it to prove that I don't care what it is.
But maybe you will care after 7 days. That's all I'm saying.
We can only hope.
We will find out next week.
So how was the car show?
The car show was one of the better car shows that I've been to.
No way.
recently.
For some reason, I wasn't expecting that kind of optimism.
Yeah, the last two ones have been ever since COVID, it got kind of lame because a lot of car companies, COVID screwed everything up. So a lot of car companies stopped doing it, stopped going, right?
Interesting.
So every year since, more and more companies have been coming back. And this year was the first time that Mercedes got back, right? They weren't there previously for the past couple years. A lot of car companies there's still car companies missing, like Honda isn't there.
Really?
Mazda wasn't there.
That's surprising.
Like a lot of car companies are still missing, but this was the biggest show recently. Not as big as when I first started going, but this is the biggest show that's been recently.
Why would they still be missing?
I don't know. I don't know why.
How do they? Okay, the sidetrack. How many shows do you think they missed? They must not miss every show.
No, they must not. I think everybody goes to Detroit. Everybody goes to Detroit.
Where on the scale of shows is this one, do you think?
Toronto's on one of the top ones, like top 5 or 10.
Yeah, I would say after 5 because I wouldn't have thought those they're too big to miss. But I understand I'm getting sidetracked because I don't know. It just threw me for a loop with that. Is there more innovation in cars since let me see. I don't know if you could compare before COVID to now. I'm trying to correlate with what I thought when we said they're coming back because I find that there's a lot of good TV coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're starting to see the boom of TV since post-COVID, right? There was a lull, but it takes a year or so for that lull to come into our faces, right? Because shit takes years in production and all that kind of stuff, right? And now I think every time I turn on TV, there's another new show coming, and I just had the thought, it's is TV getting back to peak machine performance?
Well, you know what? That is a streaming that's the Netflix effect.
No, but I was wondering if
so this what I would explain the car show is now Tesla effect. There's electric cars everywhere. Every car company has an electric car now, at least one, and they're showing it off. They this year Cadillac had an electric Escalade. It looks crazy. The doors open by itself. It looks like a normal Escalade. It doesn't look anything different. It was like a normal new Escalade.
Yeah.
The doors open by itself. Inside's amazing. There's so much shit going on, and you're just this thing is it's actually being a real thing. It's freaking expensive. It was $280 the one we looked at.
Do they not push? So that's all they push now is electric cars.
They don't really push. They still have their other cars there that they push. When we went to the Nissan booth, that's one of the first ones we went to. They had they were really pushing their Pathfinders and stuff like that. They have a whole bunch of they have different models of their SUVs and stuff that they're really trying to push, and the technology in it's crazy. Embedded dash cams, embedded in cabin cams, and all this kind of stuff that they're pushing. So it's really tech and electric.
Too hard. Trying too hard again.
Come on, Jay.
Okay, because that's what they're there for, right? They're pushing the newest products. That's why I was comparing it to new TV shows. They've had all this time, you know what I mean? Now the gears are working in the machine, and it's all about the new.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, you know what I mean? Especially at the car show. Is there a different percentage on prototype cars and real production cars, or is that always has that maintained whatever it was?
Usually there's usually a good amount of prototype cars. This year there wasn't. I don't even remember seeing any prototype cars this year, to be honest.
Can you ever yourself recognize what you saw as a prototype kind of car 4, 5, 6 years ago that is now a production car?
The only car was the electric Audi. It looks very similar to the prototype that I saw years ago.
Yeah, that's cool.
There.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's the only one that I can say is the closest. All the ones have never. Oh, and the F1, the Lightning. That one was.
Oh, the pickup truck.
Yeah, that one was there years ago too, and it looks basically exactly the same.
So I heard this podcast the other day, and it was everything about it, whatever it was, but. It was talking about EV cars, and it was talking about the car market, and it was talking, I don't know how it got to this or whatever, but it was talking about China's soon-to-be dominance of the EV market. It was called a BYU or something. You know what I'm talking about?
They have a couple, BYD.
Were they at the show?
No, they don't. There's no Chinese manufacturers there.
But I want to know when that's coming. Because they can undercut everything.
Oh, yeah. Their cars look great.
This is what I almost can't wait for.
That will never happen.
Well, what if we don't make Fords and GMs here anymore? What if this whole American thing, you know what I mean? The fucking orange man over there is telling us that he doesn't need us in our cars, and he treats us like Mexico or whatever, and they're the ones who came here. You know what I mean? It's not just a 2-day relationship.
Orange man is gonna back away from all that. I don't think that's gonna work out.
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't know the ego involved in all this fucking kingmanship.
He's already backed out of so many things.
I understand, but this is where I say I almost want to push back. Like don't poke the tiger. I get it, right? Like I get it, but like, who's to say? Like, like there's a whole other existence of fucking of life out there without Fords and GMs and fucking like that market.
I was thinking when you said coming to North America, but you're meaning coming to Canada.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Keep your fucking shit.
Yeah,
we'll take a BYU factory over here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't China just love to sell however many millions of Canadians there are?
They absolutely would.
Like, I watch Australia Survivor, and somebody won a Pathfinder or a Trailblazer. It's not a Chevy Trailblazer.
Yeah.
They have McDonald's, but they don't have Burger King. They have the logo, but they can't. It's called something else.
Yeah,
Like, it's so far removed from the North American model. And so, you know what I mean? Like, if they want to break it up, and like this whole EV thing is coming, like, is it only?
That is a good freaking point, man. If
it's fucking just traditional, right? Like, it's just a relationship. They want to break it. Like,
and China would love that.
And what's the difference? And
they would love. Well, the difference is distance, but it would be cheaper.
They got all the ships crossing the oceans.
They can build. They can put a factory.
They would love to build a factory. They would, just like they do in Africa, right? You hear them like building roads, and you know what I mean. Like, they're buying African prop. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
They're doing that to Pakistan too.
Yeah, and so we've always looked at it in ways like the evil Chinese empire. But really, like, you know what I mean? Like, why not join them?
If you force us that way, why not?
That's why I mean, like,
that actually makes a lot of sense. I would be down for that because it's not like we have the stigma of Chinese crap and stuff, but that's not necessarily true.
I would love a Huawei phone.
Oh, of course.
And listen,
I've had Huawei phones.
I'm getting caught up in the rhetoric of some of this shit. Right, like, because I said, part of me I would have 100% as an American voted for this guy and seen all this, and maybe as an American I would still feel this way, but like. As like, I just don't treat my friends like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it, it's a negotiation, whatever it is, just like fucking like, it's making me question everything. Like, even Tammy hates it way more than I do.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go to Niagara Falls to fucking like see a show in April or whatever. The plan was to go across to the border like we do all the time.
Yep.
She's like, I'm not sure I want to go. Like, I don't want to spend she's never said that out of her whole life.
That's
I don't want to
crazy.
spend my money in America.
And I hear that. That's irritating.
It's so annoying. Like, and it's like, it's a disruption, but like, it's not world ending in my mind anymore.
It's like me just starting treating you in a freaking asshole way for no reason.
That's what I would 100% feel like it. You know what I mean? Like, a whole different way. And so it's in a different way. Yeah. Like, if you have a superior position over me, and if you were saying, you know what, I've decided you're going to build this for a reason, whatever it is, then you're right. I don't know how I would disrupt the power position, because then you're ultimately making power. With the way with the way governments work with each other, like, it almost seems like a treaty.
Yeah.
And we've been knowing this country that we don't care when they break Indian treaties. We don't care when they break other treaties because it's not affected us. But this is how it works.
Yeah.
Like, this is how they operate. Like, it's just been in plain sight of us. And so now you get somebody who acts like a king more than anything. Like, it's just so gross. Like, it's so gross. And I'm balancing between the idea that when I like this guy, I was thinking, like, something's got to change. Like, there's almost corruption on the other side and all this. Not realizing, like, what other corruption are we bringing in now? And with like you said, you treating me differently like that, I was just like, fuck, I'm not going to take it.
Yeah.
I don't have to take it. We're only doing it because it's a matter of convenience in the first place.
Yeah. And we just fell into that convenience and just decided, hey, you know what?
But it worked for us.
We're all good. There's no problems. Let's just keep going easy streak.
And you talked about before, like, you know, like, go like on the Dubai model and like have like get that pipeline back and forth, like, be more insular.
Yeah.
And yes, we should have been. Maybe it's so easy to go like track your sleep data and go look where it could have been fucking insular better.
Yeah.
But that's not how progress works.
Yeah.
I'm going to really butcher this. This is really not how America got big and because they wanted to be global and dominate everything, but they didn't dominate it by like force, like England or Spain or anything. Like, they did it through democracy and trade and allies. And if you're going to break all of that and become insular, this is how this guy reported. You're going to become, this is ultimately the for sure sign of the decline, because you go from being an empire to a republic. Mm-hmm. And he goes, how did that work out for Spain? How did that work out for England?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You go from being an empire to a republic, and you have zero influence. Mm-hmm. And like this book, this guy said, it's like in the 40s, they realized if they didn't do this, then the Soviets or the Nazis were going to do this. And so it's better to do it than not be done.
Yeah.
And that's how they have 100 million bases around the world, not by accident, all strategic, like, and the US dollar and all that kind of stuff. If you're the one that wants to throw that into chaos, then now, you know what I mean? Like, you probably won't get the outcome that you're looking for. And just like, we don't a lot, but you talk about the entitled kids. Every generation says, like, look how entitled they got. They don't. We had it way worse, or no, you don't even realize what you inherited. You know what I mean? Like this world that you live in. I'm butchering everything, but
Yeah.
the left and the right don't. They inherited this American world dominance, and they don't realize what got them there. And if you're going to take democracy out of it and allies out of it, then that's you're forgetting how we got there. It's like our work, watching it, like forget how we got to be where we are. And I don't know how you transition into that. And there's something lost. You know what I mean? Like fucking my buddy at work was telling me, like, having a boss that has no idea how to build truck bodies, it might not be necessary, but it doesn't hurt. And you go from a guy who was building signs for a living and selling signs to Square One or whatever it is, to now trying to sell things, is all of a sudden now a huge contract, hasn't got trucks for fucking 2 months, and now what are you going to do? Like, it's a lot different than being able to bang out 10,000 units of something. If you're comparing units of this to units of this, and one's a truck body and one's a sign casing, then you've mismanaged, your product.
Absolutely.
And so there's a growth. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to lay blame on that. So this whole that's where I'm thinking about this American relationship now.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I feel the exact same way.
And so that's when I get to the car show. I was curious and be like, like I knew that China wouldn't get in because it's an old boys. It seems like an old boys club. Yeah. Right. And but I mean, it's just sitting there waiting to work.
Well, it's funny because it's so much smaller since COVID. They have room. If they could get past all the boys and actually get in, it would be very smart for them to do that.
So I think that whatever. I don't know if I hope that's the case.
I would want some more.
But then
Chinese
why wouldn't I
products.
just want this guy to fucking back down and everything just come back to normal?
I would want either.
Yeah, so that's why it doesn't make me worried about anything.
Yeah,
like
one just takes longer.
One might take longer, but I also say, so in the same vein, and it's, I don't know where I'm coming, just like say with phones. I'm not about to get a new phone. I have a new phone. Oh, this, ever since you showed me that Samsung video and whatever, like that thing, like I'm so impressed with Samsung.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You showed me the dominance of Samsung in fucking North Korea.
Yeah.
Not to do with phones, but just its products.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy an Apple phone anymore because it's an American.
Oh, shit.
Like, Samsung's not American.
Does that mean I have to get rid of Google?
No, you do whatever you want. I'm not saying that it's going to affect anything.
I know. I'm just saying.
Me personally, like, if I have to now make a choice, and where it was just a no-brainer to go to Buffalo for the day for lunch because we're in the area.
Now it's
a thought.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not trying to punish the fucking waitress at the fucking Olive Garden, but that's ultimately who gets punished. Mm-hmm. And this is the same with these fucking other cuts when on my left side. And Elon Musk with his fucking autistic fucking band behind him are doing this cuts. And then some people are like, oh, it's necessary. We got to do this. It's all bad. But some people are like, hey. Like, you're doing too much. You're like, who are you to do this? Mm-hmm. And sometimes we talk about it the same way. Like, we like a businessman to be running the government like it's a business. But it's not a business. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if the government's main goal is to make a profit. Like, I don't know if government should be in deficit, but the government's to work for the people. So why would you have a businessman there?
True, you'd need a hybrid.
That's when it works best. Mm-hmm. And but now I think there's no hybrid. I think it's like the best businessman in the world treating this like a business. And it's like there's a lot that could go wrong in that. Yeah. Like, I think that's what people hate about the conservative side, even in this country. Right? Like, they don't like that business, but then that's, you know what I mean? Like, it's not about making a profit. But I also don't want to get into deficit. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know how to balance that either. And so, but I'm just seeing this and seeing like this, like fucking, I don't know. What's
gonna happen over here? It's becoming a really big culture shift from the left, right? From being the whole DEI type stuff. I really feel like the world is just really trying to change culture for better, for worse. They're just trying to change the way things were going.
I agree.
And I think that this is the first major step. And as you can see, all the conservatives are pushing for elections in Canada. All the conservatives are pushing for elections right in this moment during this culture shift because they know that speaks to their audience, which is why Doug Ford just won with a landslide.
I know, but
right?
go ahead.
And it's why Pierre is really pushing for this election right now because everybody's sick of like the leftist type stuff.
I'm surprised that the Pierre guy is lower in the polls as he is. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but he's gonna win. There's no doubt.
It's because the other side is more side, but so Tammy, like, so I'm gonna put her business out there. She told me something that showed that, because I agree. I agreed that I thought that was going to happen too. But there's something saying that the other side is gaining steam on the Pierre side. Like there's not as much love for that change as you want. I agree because I've always thought that when I've tried to embrace a woke culture in a way that it might be confusing or just not trying to have to understand everything and then accept people and their thoughts and feelings or whatever it is. I've always thought it's a pendulum type of feeling. You know what I mean? So yes, this is actually watching the pendulum move
back
to the other side.
Yeah.
And so I get that. And so I see that. So, but that's, I don't know if I want to be, let's see. I don't want to give anybody any hero worship. Like I don't expect this Pierre guy. Like my feelings on my positive feelings on this for him is just like I don't want to make him feel like a savior to me. Like I don't think it's so dire if he doesn't get in. Like
Yeah.
I don't think, you know what I mean? Like I like the fact that so we did our political one. Like in Milton, it was very close. Like this is a multicultural little town, city, whatever you want to call it, and it was like 22,000 to 20,000, like in the votes between like the liberals and the conservatives.
But it's a very liberal city.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's lean. So it's not just going to get steamrolled by the
Yeah.
right pendulum.
But who won?
The right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If they won by close, then that's a shift. If liberals still would have won here, then it would have been like, okay, nothing is changing. But I'm pretty sure ever since I've been here, it's been a liberal.
No, it's bounced back and forth.
Yeah, but ever since I've been here,
The conservatives just got reelected.
today.
Yeah,
I know.
reelected.
That's
They were in before.
oh yeah, Von. What's his name?
No,
wasn't
Zoe
in-
fucking
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
Von,
Like,
what's
like-
his name was before.
Yeah, then like so it goes back and forth, and the you know what I mean? Like people, the fucking American people aren't going to understand any of this.
No, they
Well,
have no
probably turned us
idea.
off now. The provincial one is like conservative, but the liberal, the federal one is liberal.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot, like at work, we have a lot of bosses.
Yeah.
Right? And so, but I love that balance. I always want that balance. This is why I love that the fucking Green Party thrives in Guelph. I can fucking like sit here and rally on the hippie fucking granola crunching fucking whatever they are. They're out of touch. But just like, I want to hear that voice. I want to like know, like, I just like, you know what I mean? I don't want to discourage anybody that's got a positive change. I also don't want to think that they're all not rooting for Canada as a whole. And they're just trying to do what they think that they should be done. And so I see that. So, yeah, I don't even remember how it fucking started the whole conversation like that. But it was a car show.
I think- oh yeah, it was the car show.
Like the Chinese cars coming back or this and that. So, but on this like kind of national thought or whatever, what you didn't care about? What did you think about the Four Nations hockey tournament?
Oh,
like-
I thought it was great.
Did you know it was like? Did you know anything about it before it happened?
No, I didn't even. I was like, what the hell is this Four Nations? Because when it comes to hockey, I really like international more than I like the NHL at this point.
Just
So
does
I
that mean
like-
Olympics to you or World
Olympics,
Juniors?
World Juniors,
Okay.
all that stuff. I've always watched the World Juniors, so it's just been all those kind of stuff. I just like international better.
So as a fan of the World Juniors, as you even like a casual like more than most, but like compared to me,
Yeah.
then you realize that when it comes to World Juniors, it's not a lock that we win.
Not anymore. No.
Like for a long time, and
I've watched the whole shift. Yeah,
you've watched like even Sweden's and like it's coming on. So the fact that Canada like has to try like they're not like as dominant as they wish they were like in the 70s or whatever.
not even the 70s. That's even later than that.
No, but Russia always had before Russia started coming playing hockey here. Like they were fucking like Russia was the team. Like that's
Russia was
72.
the team, but who's won? I'm pretty sure Canada's won
Yes.
the most. So they have been.
Yeah, no, on the
dogs,
world stage, everybody
sure.
thinks of that first.
for sure.
And the American, but I, as a real hockey fan and being friends with American, like the rivalry between America and Canada is very close.
Yeah.
It's like very close. Even like, and so it's not a surprise that the Americans carry this thing. They try to have this. It's one area that they can almost have an underdog narrative, right? Because if they lose baseball and if they start losing to Japan and the Dominican Republic, they take it as a hit. Basketball, they take it as a hit. They think, it's, what did we do wrong to lose to Argentina or France?
Yeah.
It's not how good Argentina or France have gotten. They get a little play a little bit later, right? But maybe a real basketball fan knows that these other countries are kind of catching up. But like I said, in this hockey thing, like this came kind of out of nowhere. I never gave it the importance that it actually turned into.
Yeah.
I love World Juniors, but because I know, like I get so sad if they lose, and it's just a relief if they win.
Yeah.
It's not, it's just like, oh, thank God they don't have to hear how terrible they are, because it's such pressure to win for these stupid kids. They're carrying this whole burden of us loving hockey. So I don't like, I watch it with I kind of nurture, or I withhold my full passion because I don't want my heart to be broken. The
Hey,
same way I
whenever
don't.
my heart's broken, I just watch the women's.
Women's what?
Women's hockey.
Women's hockey. The American women and the American, that's a closer rivalry than the men's.
Yeah, but the Canadian team women's win a lot.
Yeah, but there was like a 9 year stretch where the American women fucking dominated the Canadian women.
That's good
But
for
like,
them.
but like
They
I said,
still get to be the underdog.
there's certain games that are some of the best games of hockey I've seen that were women's hockey against America.
yeah.
There's
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
like a real true rivalry. There's no better two countries than women and American hockey players. Every other country is so far below them.
Yep.
Like it's like there's nothing like there's
There's
no
no
other teams involved.
competition. Yeah.
It's just those two, and there's no real hitting in American like in women's hockey. I mean, but when those two teams play, they get to hit each other a little
Yeah.
bit. Like
Yeah.
they play, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
be
Like they
more
make the
physical,
game
for
step up.
sure.
So.
I remember the first time I discovered the World Juniors. I was like in high school, because that's when I started playing hockey, and I was like, what do you mean the juniors? They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a bunch of kids playing. I'm like our age? They're like, yeah, they're like kids playing. Basically, you don't really think about it that they're like 18 and shit like that. You don't really like take the whole thing about it. And so that's when I started watching the World Juniors, and that's when I started liking it.
See, yeah, it's hard for me to understand that you didn't understand it, because as a basketball fan, you know that the next class of pros are in college.
Yeah, we were coming straight from high school those days.
Well, that's a handful of kids coming
But
from.
it was a lot back then. It was all the number one draft picks back then when I was young were high school students. You know what I mean?
Man, that's so much a low percentage of the actual people that made it.
Of course, but that is the dominant. That's the thing you look at. You're talking about Kobe. You're talking about Steve Francis. You're talking about so many.
Yeah, you're right. There's
basketball
more than there
players,
are now.
Jordan, like now you can't do it.
Oh, they made a one and
yeah,
done rule.
you can only come from college now.
Okay, but you knew there was a feeder system.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
so,
No,
like-
I didn't even understand it to that, because when I started watching hockey in general, when I was watching like the Leafs, I remember going to my friend's house watching the Leafs. When I first started drinking beer, freaking Labatt Blue and shit. Like that's when I was drinking
True
beer,
Canadian.
watching the Leafs game, and that's when I started like watching in hockey. And age wasn't a factor then. But then when I learned about the juniors, then I started. It's probably because I was getting older.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, okay, I'm getting now. There's talking about age, and they're saying, yeah, right out of high school, this person. I'm like, what the hell? Right out of high school, this. But I'm like, wait a minute. And then you just start to realize,
Okay,
Yeah,
that was
that
your
kind of
introduction and
shit.
where it came
Yeah.
from. Yeah, I don't. That's sorry.
I don't know. Sports players seem older than they are.
Yes.
So that's
Especially when
the
you're a
thing.
kid, and then I don't know when that pendulum comes, because when all of a sudden you're older than the players.
Yeah.
right. Like
Yeah,
there's a time. Yeah, there's a time mark. You kind of just ignore that.
Yeah. But yes.
No, so I don't. That's great, because I don't have an origin story of when I knew the World Juniors were. My buddy Rick has always been on it. It's his favorite part about hockey, but he was a very good young hockey player.
Oh, yeah?
He missed he didn't go into the major juniors or anything like that. But I knew of that system, like AAA, and
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. Like I grew up with friends who were good at hockey.
For sure. Like I knew guys who were playing like AA and stuff, but it was like I don't know. I don't know why I never made the connection that this is how it goes. Like
Well,
this
yeah.
is how you do. Like my cousin was Brenton. Shout outs to Brenton. He played soccer and he went out through the ranks. I never really think. Well, there was no MLS back then when he was playing soccer, but I never really think that this is how you go to get onto Team Canada, or this is how you get seen to get recruited. I didn't even think there was freaking Canadian players in Europe. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So none of those things really ever
see.
connected till later. It's weird to think about that now because now it's like maybe I was retarded or something.
No, it just makes sense. Well, you weren't in that world.
Yeah.
Like you didn't see it. Like you can even say it about F1 drivers now.
All sports.
Yeah, you can see this
All
like,
sports.
and the ones that are less organized, it's like, how do they find great race car drivers?
Yeah.
How many go-kart tracks do you have to go to find the best fucking, next?
And then you go to a go-kart track and see the pro go-kart track next, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, like it blows your mind, like
Yeah.
until you see it live.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with so anyway, so I knew the Americans were like they chomp at the bit. Like their favorite thing, if you're an American hockey player, is you hate how Canada thinks it's the best or
We are
knows
the
it's the
best.
best.
Fuck 'em.
Right? So that's who they fight against. It'd be like everybody else against the world or against US in basketball
Mm-hmm.
or baseball. You know what I mean? But so anyway, this tournament comes up and I had zero expectations for
So
it.
how far before the tournament did you know?
Oh, I knew it was the beginning of the year. I knew that instead of an all-star
What?
break, they were doing this instead of an all-star break.
Jay,
I don't go ahead.
You know what? I sat down and I turned on my YouTube and I seen Four Nations leading up. People were talking about leading up to. I'm like, what the fuck is this Four Nations? Why is there 4 countries? I'm just like here wondering. And then it was that day that the freaking thing was starting, and I was like, what the hell's going on?
I read about hockey every day.
I know, but I get all sports things to my phone all the time, and I never saw this.
So
at
but you
all.
just ignored it. It was in your that you've never
It had
okay.
to be there. It had to be there. and
But
must
no,
have
I
slept
understand
away.
it. This is the same thing like
It's weird.
did you know what the NBA All-Star format was going to be this year?
No,
Okay, so that's on you.
I didn't.
Right? Like it's the same. I was expecting you to say yes, so that's fine. I knew about it because it's one of the background noises about the fucking bullshit things I'm trying to I read and hear about
Yeah.
while I'm trying to watch highlights
You
of
listen
hockey.
to sports podcasts.
Not hockey podcast, no. I listen to football pod. Like once football season is over, like I listen to Bill Simmons and he talks a lot about basketball. Every now and then I'll go on to a ringer like an NBA show or whatever
Yeah.
just to hear because the NBA is the best at the rumor mill.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
even if it's not relevant, there's so many storylines that you can make up. If you're a good writer and a good sports writer, that's unfortunately why the Lakers and the Knicks and the Celtics and the Embiids, they all get the fucking no matter good or bad, they get all the headlines.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if you're a Milwaukee fan and you got Giannis, it's like, you must feel so frustrated that your team gets overlooked so easy. That's why nobody can, like that. We're so far down the list. You know what I mean? Like it comes down. But, and so when Toronto gets Ingram, I want to hear what the world's take on it. And it's always ultimately disappointing because it's so it doesn't get any clicks.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
It's
not
hard to find.
but like I said, so the NBA, I'll occasionally listen to if there's something I want to hear about. So when the trade deadline comes and goes, I love Jimmy Butler, so I want to hear what their opinion on him is coming to the Warriors. And then so I get to understand what they mean by, a motivated Jimmy is like, you know what I mean? Like nobody else is going to know that. My wife will, she loves Jimmy Butler. But you know what I mean? Like that's just something you have to be an insider to know what that means.
Yeah.
And so that there's a storyline there. I'm not even a hater of the Lakers. And so they get Luka. And so I want to hear what their take is on all that shit. So that's what I'll listen to. Hockey is
Not
very
like that.
boring.
Yeah.
Like I hate the regular season of hockey so much. Like Leaf games come and go and I didn't even realize they played because I'm not giving them my whole heart anymore. It hurts so much to watch them lose every time with no blame. And it's coming to that. But when I root for them and they make the playoffs. I'm going to watch and I'll do that. But I turned into this person I never thought I'd turn to. It's just like, call me when the playoffs start. Because I'm not living and dying for 80 fucking games with anything anymore.
That's fair.
And but because I go on to TSN every day, like I knew that. So it was in the background for tournaments. Yeah, whatever. Who fucking cares? Like Russia's not even there. Like how you know what I mean? Like what are you
Yeah,
going to do about
honestly.
yourself? And so, but it's like, okay, you're going to do this instead of an All-Star game. That's fine. And then I watched the first. So the first game of the whole tournament was for Canada against Sweden, and I've seen Sweden beat Canada many times. And and it was like a Thursday, so it was like beginning of my fucking weekend. I was feeling great about myself. Watched it, and it was 10 minutes of the whole game was great. The first 10 minutes blew my fucking mind. One of the things about World Juniors is that's Canada and the rest of the world. Those are the best kids in the world, and they're never going to be faster than they are at 18 years old.
100%.
Right? They'll be stronger and they'll get going, and they might, but they're never going to fucking be as fast as they are.
Yeah.
And they make some mistakes, so that opens up some exciting hockey.
Yeah.
And they try, and their emotions are on. That's why it's heartbreaking when they lose. And so they're so fast. This first game of the Four Nations tournament was the fastest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Reminded you of that? Of
Yes,
juniors?
that's where it's just like this is exactly what people will love about the World Juniors. Like it was so fast, it's so skilled, and there was zero scrimmage about it.
Yeah.
There was zero union meeting about it. Like it was just like holy shit. Like these guys want to win.
Hey, way to bring pride out of somebody and letting them fight for their country.
But so I didn't know that was going to translate so much. I didn't give them, you know what I mean? Like you think in hindsight, you go, yeah, you put your jersey, the national jersey on, and it's hard not to feel that way. But these are also multimillionaires. It's not an Olympics. It's a made up thing.
They play for other teams in the States and in Canada, you know what I mean? And then as soon as they put that jersey on, it's completely different.
Well, because it's that pride. It's like it's all that's like it's a mini version of war. It's like a camaraderie. It's like fucking us against them. And so then the American game comes on. And listen, I want to give full credit. Like the reason why the Americans are good is because they play like Canadians. Like we had to adapt to a European style once we realized how good the Russians were. Like whatever, learn to pass better, learn to stick handle better, learn to play better, and not rely on just intimidation and toughness. We went over there thinking we're just going to beat the fuck out of them and do all that. We started losing international tournaments because we just would bring bigger fucking thuggier teams over, and eventually the Swedes and the Russians would just dangle their way past us, and we wouldn't win every game because they, you know what I mean? They were outskilled. We didn't bring our best skilled players.
Absolutely.
And just like the basketball team or in America or whatever, if they ever lose, they go, fuck, we just didn't build the right team. Do we put, Embiid on or Derek White? Or do you know what I mean? Like, do we bring Draymond Green or, you know what I mean? Like fucking Luka, whatever it is. Like, I don't know, right? Like something like that. Like, do we all skilled guys or whatever? And so that's what we can stumble on. So we had to like start changing the way it was like it was a fucking national emergency. Like, we have to change the way we play hockey. We have to start playing more 3-on-3. Like, we have to stop playing the neutral zone trap.
Yep.
Right? Like, because they don't play that in Europe and they're kicking our asses internationally. So we switched. Go back to this Four Nations tournament. America's built their team around the Canadian style so much, we have to actually kind of call it a North American style now.
100%.
And they come out and they start the fights right away. And we're like, but the thing is, we're ready for the task. They can have fucking Kachuk, who's built for this, and then there's a smaller guy, and he's like, okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
It's not like he's hiding from him.
Yeah.
And Kachuk knew he was going to fight, so he has a whole upper hand. We're like, oh, okay, so this is what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Like, good on you, you know what I mean? But you have to plan this whole thing. You have to
do
get
it.
yourself worked
Yeah.
up to fucking do this
Okay,
against
we're gonna
us.
do this, guys.
Yeah,
You sure you
come on,
wanna
guys.
do this?
We can
Yeah,
get him this
yeah,
time.
yeah.
We can get him this time. You know me? Be like, Kai trying to beat Sire one-on-one.
Yeah.
Okay, this time I'm going to fucking take him out of this. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to find out tricks to do it. So full credit for them. And they turned that game into fucking just a magic, even the game they lost, just magical.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, it's great to have a challenge. And so then it gets to the chat. Like, I don't know what your thoughts were there to watch Canada lose to America. Like, if you're, however you took that information, like, are you taking it from like, we got our asses kicked? Like, how do you remember losing to America that first game of that tournament?
I was like, how did they lose?
Yeah.
I was like, how could they possibly lose that? In my mind, even though whenever they lose, I still think that we're a lock to win, no matter what. I always think we're a lock to win, at least hockey. So
No credit to them?
Well, no, you know what team it is. You know what team they are. You know that it's not they're not scrubs. It's not like they're freaking Venezuela or some shit like that, right? So, but I don't care. I expect to win no matter what when it comes to this kind of thing. When Gretzky's up there, it's because he's Canadian. Like, so I expect this to win, which he's about to lose his gold.
We'll get there. I want to get to that. That's funny. I put that on there for a second. So, okay. So when it came to the last game, so after that game, did you care a little bit more that, okay, they got to beat Finland or whatever it is to get a chance to beat America?
No, I said when they get there, they're going to beat America.
So no doubt.
There's no doubt.
I watched the Finland game.
Especially with NHL players. It's not like it's like in the Olympics and stuff, or like the Worlds, they don't all the NHL players don't necessarily go, right? But this is all NHL players, the best, the cream of the crop, right?
Yeah, but you're wrong because those world like every country is full of NHL players in all of these world tournaments.
For
Almost
sure.
even a team like Germany
For
is half
sure.
NHL fucking
They
players
have
now.
NHL players, but it's not exclusively.
It's not the best.
and they don't always go. They don't
It's not the
always
best.
say. Yeah, they don't always say. Yeah, they opt out. All
Yes,
the best
all
players
the time.
opt out. So
Yep.
this they didn't. So that's why I was thinking in my mind, there's no way.
The other countries in these other tournaments, their best don't opt out.
Well, they have no choice.
because that's what I mean. They
have no
have to.
choice.
They live in
Yeah.
fucking Sweden, so they're gonna play for the fucking.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
they have no choice because
So, but this
we
is why-
have Americans and Canadians and Russians have that luxury of not necessarily having the best on.
So my feeling was like I hope they would get there eventually, but I'm like fucking like I still had a little bit of nervousness watching them in the the semifinal game or whatever it was, hoping they can get to the one. So then it gets to the real game. So like the championship game. So it was like on a Thursday, so you're working. So do you not even wait to find out till the end of the day? Like
Hell no! I was watching every freaking highlight.
That's
I was
nice.
watching all the scores. I was freaking on
Nice.
my phone almost died for the first time that day.
I am very impressed. I'm not trying to be surprised. I get it. You've come across just now and before like that. I love that. I
Oh,
fucking
man.
love like
It was
that's
great.
That embodies exactly how if that's how it made you feel. How did it make everybody else feel? And even more involved,
Yeah.
I had to watch that game.
Listen, I told you before I stopped watching basketball because it was just getting boring, and that's how I really got into F1 because it
Yeah.
was new and exciting. This made me feel the same way, just having something just new and exciting, and it came out of nowhere. For me, you gotta
Yeah, I
understand.
get it.
For me, it was just like bam, and I'm like, and like I said, I like the international stuff. So when I seen that, my eyes were wide open. I'm like, okay, let's go.
So it hit me like a bang too, because even though I knew it was coming, I didn't know that they were going to care this much about it.
Oh,
and then when it
man.
got to the championship game after they already beat us, and they were talking such shit. And then it became so different.
Yeah.
And they want Donald Trump to show up.
Yeah.
And they fucking want this and that. They want it so bad.
Yeah.
And I want it so bad.
Especially with the climate and
So this is
times.
I
Oh,
can't
man.
remember, like honestly, like I'll go back to last year's playoffs or fucking even football. I can't remember a game that I needed to watch my team win
Yeah.
compared to Sidney Crosby in Vancouver and that golden goal.
Oh, that was
like I
amazing.
can't like, but
I
again,
love
that
that.
was overtime. Like, you know what I mean?
That
Like, they
was-
didn't
yeah.
dominate them. Like,
Yeah.
it's never easy. And so I'm even flashing back to all the other Olympic games. I'm just like, it's so great. All these things coming. 87 fucking Canada Cup. Like, just after you're born, where you could never even know what's going on. Like, this is how much I've cared about these things, even
Yeah.
more so then. So I've been so beaten down by the Leafs and everything. Like,
Oh, you've
I
had it
don't
rough.
have excitement like the Dolphins. Everybody I fucking care about in sports ultimately lets me down. And so my heart has truly never been in it like this. And so I can't remember, like, that's what I'm comparing it to needing to win this game for my feelings not to be hurt.
Yeah.
And so I was so nervous, like,
Yeah.
as a thing.
Yeah.
So I want to get to, like, even, like, watching the buildup of that game, because it was on a Thursday again, got to have my fucking cranberritas and set myself up as perfect as possible, and just the anxiety, feeling it up. I don't know, this is the sidebar. What do you feel about, like, the booing, the anthem booing? Like, me personally, I don't like it.
Well,
I get it, but it's not. I find it classless.
I don't think you should be booing national anthems. I see why they're booing the
I do
national
too.
anthem, and I think the Americans took it the wrong way too. Well, from the interviews I thought,
Yeah.
like who was it that said we must be doing something right? They're booing it because of Donald Trump.
Yes.
It's not because of you guys.
No.
like so I don't know. You must have blinders on to know what's going
No,
on.
I don't know, because then you're just gonna get whatever. Like, I just hate the.
Then don't say anything.
I wish
if
they
you
didn't
don't-
play it.
If you don't understand, no, you have to play it. If you don't understand, then don't say anything. But I don't agree with booing national anthem. I think that's messed up.
Yeah, I do too.
Boo the team after.
It's not the team. It just
No, I
feels
know,
so
but you're
attacking the
booing
team.
the
No, I
country.
understand
You're
too.
booing the country,
I get it,
so-
and I feel, but it's so misplaced.
It's like we were friends. We've always had this rivalry of almost all sports ish.
Yeah.
Right. And so now you guys are screwing that up. We've been playing hockey with each other for so long, and now look at how you treat us.
But this is the whole. It turns into a narrative that's not sports, but it is the only time that as a group you can voice your fucking opinion.
Yeah.
Like we all agree on this thing or whatever, and then that's just how we can get to the Gretzky 8 in a minute. But so as a sidebar, the national anthems come on. It's just oh man, the build up, and I'm watching it. This is going to sound like
This was in the States, right?
yeah,
The
it was
last
in
game.
Boston,
Yeah.
right? And this is the thing. Most of these major tournaments, whatever, happen in Canada because they get the most spectators here.
Yeah.
The last 10 years, maybe, they've had more of these World Junior tournaments in America because their team is good as well and they can throw 20,000 people into Minnesota or Boston
Yeah,
or
what do we
Buffalo.
have? Toronto or Vancouver?
No, but there's anywhere. Edmonton, they'll fill up anywhere. They'll fill
but
up in
it's
St.
different.
John's.
It's easier in certain
No,
places.
it's easier anywhere in Canada, but America's got 10 places they could do it as well.
Yeah.
Right? And then it becomes a really good tournament there too. So, but what I was going to say is for the most of their life, these young Americans come to Canada to play. And that's why they love to beat Canada in Canada. That's their favorite thing. The World Juniors to come here and beat Canada in Canada, it's their favorite. So this is in America now. And so it's the first time I looked on their faces and seen like, oh, all the pressure that I've ever only seen on a Canadian team is now on them. They've talked all this shit.
Yeah.
They fucking said how much they're better than us and this is their time and they want the fucking president to be there and all this kind of fucking stuff. And I'm like, fucking look at their faces. They're so nervous. There's never been a time that I've seen not Canada have all the pressure to win on them.
Yeah.
Like we know the pressure is on the Canadian team, but the other team is just always kind of happy to be there and got to play a little bit loosey-goosey in a way. And this time they didn't. Once the game got started, then it was a game again, but their faces just read all the fucking pressure and it was like, oh, this is going to get to them. I knew it. I mean, it's easy to say now because if our goalie didn't stand on his head and all that kind of shit, but I fucking loved it. I'm so
was
happy
great.
that it got to you as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even in this national thing we're kind of talking about, but just as a game, like my heart was like on the edge of my seat or whatever, you know what I mean? Like coming out of my chest. Like it was everything I love about sports.
Yeah.
If they lost, I
Absolutely.
wouldn't have said it though. I don't know what I would have felt.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Well, you brought up Gretzky. Like, I kind of get it. Like, but what do you think about like this Gretzky hate?
Oh, you're talking about the Donald Trump stuff?
Yeah, like because he was at the inauguration, and so he comes out at the beginning of the tournament or the game as our honorary captain, and he's fucking Captain Canada. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's also a generational thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you know who Gretzky is, and you can respect what he did, and some of it was in your face,
Yeah.
but most of it wasn't.
Yeah.
The Gretzky brand is kind of gone for you.
Not
Like,
the
you know what it
brand,
is.
but
You're aware of it.
but I wasn't there for the moment type of
Yeah,
thing.
like it
tail
doesn't
end.
lack. You're just like fucking, like. But actually, to some people, like he's Janet Gretzky's dad. You know what I mean?
the
Like,
fuck is that?
That's his wife. His daughter is married to a fancy golfer, and she was an Instagram model for a while.
Yeah, I don't
right.
know.
Like again, I know, but you know who Gretzky is.
Yeah.
So I don't like to mix politics and people. Like I don't care if you told me, you know what I mean? Like we can have conversations about it, but we're not going to change friends on fucking if you vote for Pierre, I vote for Pierre, or we don't. It'll be like fucking, well, tell me why or whatever, right? Like it's not like a thing. You have a right to fucking religion and politics, and I think you have to. I don't know where you like draw the line because he's an American and whatever. He's a rich American, so I don't doubt that he's Republican. Like I don't expect him to fucking fight against. I don't know what I expect from him. Like I don't know. I don't want to boo him. I don't want to hate on him for fucking being a Trump supporter. But like, would it be nice if he said something? I don't know. What are you asking for him? Like not
Nothing.
you, but what do you think the people that are hating on him are asking from him?
To fight for Canada.
But he's kind of done that his whole life.
Then why stop now?
And so, in that kind of context, what would that entail? Like moving back to Canada, not
No.
being in Trump. Like he didn't go to Trump's inauguration knowing he was going to do this. Do you think he should step up and say, "Hey, back off"?
I don't know why they're booing him for going to the inauguration anyways. Frick, if I was invited to that, you don't think I'm going to Trump's
They
inauguration?
want to unnamed streets in Edmonton about him.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
signing
I didn't
petitions.
know about that. That's
They
ridiculous.
want to fucking.
For what?
They want to revoke his passport. Like
I
this is
mean-
retarded. Woke. Like this is. I don't know. This is the.
I don't get that because I'm looking at it differently because I think going to an inauguration would be like a once in a lifetime moment.
No, I get it.
So I don't see half those people who are signing this petition, even though they would probably want to say they wouldn't go, if they had an invite in the mail from the president to come to his inauguration, they'd be going.
I don't know if they would now.
Well, in hindsight, they wouldn't.
In
but
hindsight,
they would
it's
be
easy.
going.
Yeah.
They would be going. Why would you miss that?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm finding it hard to disagree with you, but I hate this hero worshiping of fucking politicians. Like, I don't know if I would have gone. It's so easy for me to say it was not in the cards.
You would have had to have gone. You would
Why?
have tell me you passed up an opportunity to go to a presidential inauguration. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, I know you're right. I don't know, but I just don't.
And then you're going to look back 20 years from now and be like, oh, watching TV, someone go to the inauguration and be like, oh, yeah, look at those, look how much people is there. And then, yeah, I got invited to that one time, but I turned it down.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
these rich guys obviously they probably have more opportunities to do those kind of things. But I'm just saying, a lot of these people are being hypocrites about it. Some wouldn't go for sure, but don't tell me that all these people signing petitions wouldn't go. And yeah, I agree with you with separating sports and politics to an extent. It depends on how vocal you are about it, right? It depends on when you're vocal about it. If you're coming to your post-game interviews talking about freaking Donald Trump, supporting Donald Trump every single time, then we have a right as sports fans to deal with you in that kind of a manner.
True.
But if you're keeping it separate, then what's the problem? That's you as your political views on one end and you as a sports player on the other.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly how I like it. I think, and I can't change anything about that. So when it comes to these tournaments and all that, the narrative gets and the rhetoric gets built up so much.
For sure.
Then it's kind of hard not to get caught up in the whole nationalism. And we've never experienced anything kind of like this or whatever. So,
Do you think, okay, Ovechkin,
okay.
how do you feel about him
Breaking Gretzky's record or him in general?
potentially breaking his record?
Well, Ovechkin is...
I've always been an Ovechkin fan, actually.
Ovechkin for me is very cut and dry. He is one of the best hockey players I've ever seen play hockey.
For sure.
He is not the best all-around fucking player, but
Scorer.
he
One of the best scorers, for sure.
is one of the obviously like there's a art to fucking scoring goals. Like
I can't believe he's still doing it like this.
Like Brett Hull was like the kind of hockey player that I didn't like that much, but he found a knack of scoring goals. He had something. Ovechkin is just an all-around hockey player. Like he's a classic. He throws his weight around.
Yeah.
He's a fucking captain that you would want to
big guy.
follow. I'm mixed feelings about it. I think all records are made to be broken, and I think because the same way I think you're in a way, and definitely people younger than you are generationed out of Gretzky and what he did. I'm fully on I saw the whole thing, and so I anything that diminishes his shine in a hockey sense. It's the same with the other way, but it's upsetting to me. Like, because I recognize that's just, I'm looking at it the wrongly when I do. Like, in that sense, I'm like fucking like, oh, like that, it's going to take away from what Gretzky did. But I love that there's always a new thing. Like, I want to celebrate who Ovechkin broke his fucking leg this year, and he's come back and now got over 30 goals.
Yep.
Like,
It's
it's
insane.
an undeniable...
And he's old.
And it's undeniable that he's carrying on a fucking, like this pace at
Yep.
this time.
It's crazy.
I'm happy for him that he gets it. Like I said, like it's in my mind, he's not going to take away the greatest hockey player that ever was.
It will always be.
Right? Like I say, but also like, I mean, like there were certain things that Gretzky did. Yeah, that's hard to explain, like how he made. But you could argue with even Gretzky, who's a better leader, Gretzky or Messier? It might be Messier.
Yeah.
Messier went to the Rangers and made them win. And you
Yeah.
watch a documentary on how they did it, like it's like crazy. But how much did he learn from playing with Gretzky? Like let's say Gretzky rub off.
Yeah.
Right? Like Ovechkin did this all on he's just so consistent.
Yeah.
Watching Sidney Crosby play at the level he did in this tournament makes me realize that he's probably a better all-around player still.
For sure.
He's a better captain. He's won more cups. Like you'll never take that away from him. But Ovechkin, I have nothing but love for Ovechkin. I'm happy for him that he's doing it. At first, I was a little bit reluctant. I had to get there. I had to get over my
Me
Gretzky
too.
bias.
I remember from the draft, I had to get there.
Yeah, well, there was always a Sid versus him, but I remember
Of course.
Ovechkin in the World Juniors.
Yeah.
I remember this
Yeah,
fucking
me too.
marvel.
Me too.
With his fucking cage on because he was like 17 years old still.
Yeah.
And fucking, it's like, yeah, he never took anybody by surprise. and it's just always lived up to the fucking thing. And I loved him because Crosby always got the better of him most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that rivalry between those two teams was built because of him. And he's a great personality. I'm not sticking to his fucking his love of Putin or whatever, or fucking like not Putin.
Freaking, he's from there.
That's
what
why I get it. So that's fine. I don't begrudge him
Right,
anything.
right.
Like and he doesn't ever mix that into things.
Yeah.
If anybody brings that up, it's somebody looking for a storyline. He never comes out there with his fucking.
He's just trying to play hockey.
He just
man.
plays hockey and he's just a dad and just does whatever, right? He's just and so. I can't unsee that. I don't know. I'm probably not celebrating it as much, but I'm trying to respect.
I hope he falls one goal short. I hope he falls one goal short. So that is my era, the Sid and Ovechkin era. Like that is like the main. I was like, I got to see that whole thing, right? Just like you.
Yep.
But I got to see it as a young kid coming up and being like, holy, and when I was actually really in love with hockey from the beginning.
That's a good point.
So it was good, and I had to get there too, but I hope he falls short. I hope he falls. I was always on. I don't know. I don't want him to beat that all-time thing, but there will always be a caveat, right? There will always be a caveat. Arguably, I don't think it's really arguable. It's easier to score now than it was back then.
So
Yep, come on. The
Why?
goalie pads are smaller. Like, there's a lot of reasons that.
can I fucking go on Twitter? Let's do a side-by-side comparison of the goalie equipment in the 80s.
I remember when they made the rule
In the
that
90s, it got a little
goalie
bit more.
powers, they made the rule to make because hockey was gonna. This is my golden era, Jay. I remember hockey was getting born. They wanted more goals. They made goalie pads smaller. That's when they got rid of rules and stuff to promote more scoring. So it's easier to score now than it was when Gretzky was scoring.
So watching even hockey before you did, like the fact that Lemieux and Gretzky did what they did when you could hook and hold and do all these things, it's amazing. It's amazing. The goalies were nowhere near as good as they are now.
Absolutely.
Like, it's hard to say that
That's
it's easier
fair.
to score goals now. Every player on the ice is so much more specialized than just when Gretzky was coming in, they were still farmers playing hockey and then going back to work as a farmer.
So now you're diminishing Gretzky.
Yeah, in a way, he
No,
got to grow
there's-
up in a golden era. He transcended that,
Yep.
because he had longevity and he did that. But we're not mentioning Gordie Howe,
Yeah.
right? Like again, like he was the Sidney Crosby of before Gretzky and all that shit. But we have zero idea. We just go on people's stories about it. We can't
you
even
can
watch
watch
the
the-
fucking highlights of it,
Yeah.
right? Like we can't because it's so unwatchable. Like it's just like it's so. It's, you know what I mean? Like we're just trying to give it respect in a history type of way.
Fair.
Don't even bother. You can't watch an old car race.
No, not at all.
Like,
I
it's
can't
just the same
I can't
fucking thing.
I can't even watch the 90s.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Like it's this. You realize like, oh, these are nice cars. Whoa, I wonder what they would do in the rocket ships that Lewis is driving. Right?
They wouldn't know what to do.
Lewis couldn't get in the old car.
Yes, he could.
No, I'm saying that.
The
Yes, you're
old
right.
guys couldn't get in the new cars.
It would blow their mind.
They would
I
have
don't. I
no
think it would be
idea.
easier for the newer guys, the older guys, to get in the new cars.
There's no way.
Yeah, so
There's
that's
way
fine.
Too much technology.
Yeah,
and they don't know what technology is.
I will secede that. I'll have to think about that a little bit more.
Same
There's
thing with,
room.
look at the hockey sticks we have.
That's what
look
I'm
at
saying.
the ice quality they have nowadays. It's way better.
That's the same, but also so this you can go
The
back and
training,
forth.
the doctors, the
speciality of like the things or whatever. Like the coach, I think it's an argument that you can't find the right answer to.
can't
I don't
really.
know if it's easier to score goals now than it was before. Nobody's scoring 200 points anymore. Like people used to score way more points than
I
they
know.
do now.
Yeah, I know.
So that's your information. That's your fucking
But
stats.
are they shooting more goals?
No, like this is why, like fucking when like nobody's
You
gotten
had
over
to
seven.
pass-
Nobody's
you had
gotten
to
over.
pass more back
Timu
in the
Solani
day.
was getting 90 fucking goals.
You had to pass more back in the day.
No, you're lying. No, they have to fucking. So it's always going to be a situation where I don't think you're ever going to get to define,
No, you can't.
right? Like I think it's like you saying it's easier to score goals now. I don't
They
agree.
made it easy. Oh, games nowadays have higher scoring goals than they were.
The reason why it's easier to score goals now is since Patrick Waugh, coaches pull their goalie out with
Who's
6 minutes to
Patrick Waugh?
go. See, then how am I talking to you about
Joking.
hockey?
I can't believe you actually.
I know that, but
listen-
you say that. Why would you even say that? That's just stupid. right?
Yeah,
you even watch fucking Patrick Waugh's evolution. You saw it.
I saw it.
Yeah, so his pads, and in the middle of his fucking career, his pads are like fucking a balloon compared to where they were at the end and the beginning.
Yeah.
Like they had to. They even shrunk the size of the post and the crossbar
They did.
to give him a fucking half an inch on either fucking side
Yeah.
to get more goals. I remember it. It was gross. They're taking out the fucking center ice line. Like they have to do these things. You know what I mean? Like to promote more goals.
Yeah.
I've seen it. 3-on-3 hockey, overtime. There's so much extra way to pad your stats.
Yeah.
But in general, just like they're tech savvy and the drivers are better now, then every other hockey player is just as good now.
So we're even. So it's even playing.
It pretty much
field,
is
you're
even.
saying.
So that's why you have to celebrate that he made it.
I love Ovechkin.
Yeah. So I think
I'll celebrate
that's
it.
fucking funny. I do like that. Yeah. I did have to get there. I didn't want to say it 100%, but I don't want to diminish like how he did it with his own skill and like
Is he the LeBron James of the NHL?
Ovechkin.
Yep. LeBron
I don't
James is
think so.
breaking all those. Breaking
I
all
think
those
LeBron
things.
James is. I think LeBron James is putting his haters in a not maybe just now. I don't know. Like I'm going to say this because I didn't think of. LeBron James amazes me every day. Like I can't find a reason to hate on this guy.
I can.
I find at his age, and you can say basketball has gotten a lot easier, right? Like they fucking could care
Way
less.
less physical.
Like whatever,
Yeah.
but also the technology for him to keep his body in where it is,
Absolutely.
and his desire to be great. They're equal in their desire. LeBron James' desire to be great is almost unmatched. Like he stumbles. He's a human all the time. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to speak to everything about him, like in how he manipulates a team or whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but.
But doesn't that tarnish it?
I'm only talking about it as a basketball player, as a fucking person that when the chips are down, like, do you really want to play LeBron James in a fucking playoff series?
If you're Michael Jordan, probably.
That's just like Nigel Mansell or fucking Senna getting in a new car. Like, so you let fucking like all the training that fucking like Michael Jordan's going out and drinking beer, smoking cigars, and gambling all night after the game, and LeBron is going back and fucking pumping iron for 16 hours before his next game.
And
It makes him
still couldn't match Jordan. That's crazy.
I don't know. You're guessing that.
I'm not guessing. Jordan did everything he did in less amount of time. So
Yeah, but he's not doing it now. He didn't do it until this age.
he
Like,
didn't
you
have,
don't-
because he didn't have to.
He didn't
because
want to.
LeBron James is still trying to chase that Jordan thing.
Yeah.
That Jordan did in way less time. If there was no Jordan, LeBron James probably would have quit already.
So why is that? It seems that you think that's gross. Like,
No,
why is that? Why are you letting that diminish
I think
LeBron?
I think the fact that he's still doing this at this age is crazy because the fact that I can't walk down my stairs without hurting my knee is insane. So,
Or can I show? Well, that's what I should post. Is you cramping up
Me
2 weeks
cramping
ago?
up on like that shit, and this guy's still dunking on people and playing like 35 minutes in a game. Yeah, I'll pass on that.
So you know what's
For
weird to
sure.
me? You're retarded for bringing up Jordan in the first place. Like that's
No.
not. Like I get it, maybe because we were talking Gretzky and Ovechkin when you said like in the same things or whatever. So, but Jordan did not come into my mind when I was trying to give you my opinion on fucking LeBron.
Really?
Like yes, like you don't have to look at it in the historical context. You
yeah.
asked about right now in the NBA.
No, I asked about right now.
Yes, and so he
Ovechkin.
makes the Lakers great. Now you give him a person like Luka, like you see a rebirth in him. Like it's
Yeah.
gross about the brawny shit and doing that, but any dad would want to do that.
But maybe because he's done this his whole career is why I look at him. I think I don't like LeBron, but I think he's top 5 greatest basketball players. I wouldn't say top 2. I definitely wouldn't say the best, but he's definitely in the top 5. But the fact that he had to do this type of thing, this Luka type of thing for his whole career that's what messes it with me.
Even your great Kobe couldn't do it himself.
He doesn't have to do it himself, but when people did leave him, he wasn't running around chasing other people or begging other people.
Because but
He wasn't doing that. Me and Brenton have this argument all the time. We were talking about he really does not like LeBron James. And if you look at this guy's teammate history, it is nuts. You're talking Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Kyrie Irving. You're talking Anthony Davis, like the list that he has of players that he's played with,
Wow.
to only accomplish the things that he's accomplished. Not only that's okay, that's wrong, but to accomplish what he has accomplished, could he have done it on his?
If I really cared about this argument, listening to
Yeah.
you talk, I would never talk to you about this again. Nothing would change your mind.
No,
I
would change
could change my.
I
I'm
could
the
change
per-
my mind on LeBron.
I don't
I
think
could
you.
change my mind on LeBron. I could change my mind on
Only
LeBron
to be a contrast of
being
Brenton.
a top 3. I could not change my mind on LeBron being the best player of all time, undeniably.
I compare him to the greats that I see now.
Yes.
Okay, like I never think of Michael Jordan
That's how.
because he's come and gone. Like I don't live.
But
I
how
don't
do
even
you not think of Ovechkin and Gretzky?
because it's so different. This is why I can't watch all. Like it's never mind because you don't know the result or whatever. Like I can appreciate it for the time,
Mm-hmm.
but like Ovechkin and LeBron to me are because it's happening in my face.
Yeah.
It's happening with this age-defying stuff. Like no matter why, because of better nutrition, because of different league, because of the rest of the most of the regular
Money.
season is a cakewalk.
Money.
I don't know, like whatever. I don't look at those things. I look at what I see with my eyes,
For sure.
and the ability and the difference makers, like the reason to why to want to watch, and to automatically to think of like comparing them to somebody else is already just diminishing them what they're doing in the
No,
moment.
that's what makes him
I
in
don't
the top
care.
5.
This is what so
If there's no one to compare him to, then he would not be great.
I would rather. I don't know how it's going to correlate or whatever, and I'm going to get off something. What do you think of Jimmy Butler?
Like
I'm not saying in
overall,
all
like in
times. I'm just as a
general?
basketball player, as somebody to watch. Is he worth watching?
Absolutely.
Out of everything that he does, are you 100% on board with Jimmy Butler?
I will watch Jimmy Butler play basketball. Absolutely.
Okay, why?
Because he's great. He's great at it.
Okay, so we don't have to mention other people. Do you
If
have
I
to
was-
mention Charles Oakley or like Scottie Pippen or
Because he's not in that echelon of where the margins are so thin that you have to compare him. You cannot compare LeBron James now to anybody else in the league. You cannot compare LeBron James in his prime to the only way you could compare LeBron James in his prime right now is if you compare him to SGA, or if you compare him to all those other players. Like you can't even compare him to Durant anymore at this point. You
well,
know
he's
what I
blown
mean?
that out of the fucking water.
Exactly. So the only one you could compare him to are the greats of the history, and that's another
No, I think you're wrong.
level of basketball that is where they want to be compared to.
I think you're wrong. I think that's what makes the Lakers automatically dangerous is because he's on the team.
No, because he's not the greatest Laker. He will never be the
Of course
greatest
he's not
Laker.
because he has to die in a fucking helicopter crash fucking
No,
feeding.
the things that Kobe did compared to what LeBron did
but
is
see,
not
I don't see
the
it.
same. I know you don't because you don't like Kobe.
Yeah, but I don't. I see him as more of a selfish basketball player. I don't
For
have any
sure.
evidence.
For sure.
I don't
for
have
sure.
my eyes.
As players,
And you're right. No,
he's more
the
selfish,
great things you say,
100%,
like he
100%.
stayed. You know what I mean? Like other people come and gone. He won. He did the same thing in a way, but just staying on the same team.
That's
And
what
like
Jordan did.
even when they talk about Paul Gasol, he's the Marc Gasol's brother to me. I don't recognize what he did to that team to make him championship.
Are you serious?
I can get it, but
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
a name. I wasn't living it.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I can recognize how great the Celtics are as a team, but I fucking hate Boston as a city, like as a fan
I
fan
hate
base.
Boston too.
Right? Like it's so annoying, and we lose to the Bruins all the time. Like the Patriots, everything about Boston, I want to boo, like it's the national anthem. And so, but like, can I really say I can find faults in Tatum's game? But boy, fucking pretty good basketball player.
Yeah.
But I never have to go past that. I don't say compared to Kobe or
That's
compared to
because
anybody
you
else.
Cannot compare to any of
But
these
they don't
guys
need
Kobe.
to. He's playing right now. But
No,
this is why I bring up Jimmy Butler
Yeah.
because he has all the other intangibles
Yeah.
that don't measure up to stats or information. It's just what you see, and this is why he's such a human that you get a mopey fucking Jimmy, and you get a disruptive fucking Jimmy, and you get playoff Jimmy. And now you get this fucking motivated Jimmy on Steph Curry's team, and and just like they're on a roll. Like, be careful. You know what I mean? If they could catch lightning in a bottle too.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite athlete, the person that makes everybody great around them. And what LeBron can do, he seems very selfish at times because it's got to be my way or the highway. But if you really watch it, you know what I mean? Like when he's trying his best, it's like it's so undeniable to me.
Yeah,
not to not to
absolutely.
compare, not to what Jordan would be doing right now or anything like that.
But that's the difference. Like, yes, his play style. If we're comparing play styles, you can't compare him to. You have to compare him to somebody else. You cannot compare him to Jordan. But the fact that he is being a GOAT and he is considered a GOAT, you cannot compare. You have to compare him to those guys. He does not get to be compared to anybody else in the league at this point. Nobody will say,
Okay, I get your point.
Jordan and Jimmy Butler, Jordan and Tatum. I mean, not Jordan, LeBron and Tatum. Comparing him to Jordan is uplifting rather than comparing him to people in the league is like diminishing.
You're missing I get what you're saying, but you're missing the right here and now. You're living in the past, and you're living in the past when you talk like that.
No,
because he is playing right now. His team is competing right now.
For sure.
This is what I like about him right now.
For sure.
I take it or leave it for what happened
sure.
today or yesterday
if
or
we're
tomorrow.
living in a vacuum, yes, LeBron James is great, but well, even without the vacuum, he's great. But at the end of the day, he's not striving to win one champion anymore. We're not playing for one season. He's striving for a legacy. And in the terms of legacy players, where does he'll always be ranked with the Kobe's, LeBrons, and the Magics because he's a legacy player now. The rest of the guys are not legacies yet.
Okay, so the same with like the difference here is, I guess I'm watching sports in the vacuum.
Yes.
Like I'm taking for what it is. It's so hard to compare against it. Like watching your F1 and the practices and all that. It's almost impossible to compare or separate last year and this year.
Oh,
like
yeah.
how different is it going to be? And that's the instant comparison.
Yeah.
Right. But and I'm not saying I'm not trying to be better than. I'm saying this is how I look at it. I'm just looking at it as the brand new. This is what it is. This is how it's going to be. Like it's the best thing about sports is everything is wiped clean.
But it's
you
not
always
because-
LeBron is always going to be with a legacy thing. But you can't convince me that the only thing that doesn't matter now is winning the championship this year.
And he hasn't shown it.
What are you talking about? He's still top 5 in stats, and they're winning.
Yeah.
They're not. They're dangerous, man. They're fucking dangerous.
They're dangerous. Why?
Because they can beat anybody at any time.
No, because they have Luka now. They have space. They weren't dangerous freaking 2 months ago.
But they were they
weren't
were
dangerous
maintaining
last season.
They were in the playoffs.
For how long?
They were fucking better than a lot of other teams.
They haven't been dangerous in a while. LeBron James on a team hasn't been dangerous in a while.
They won 4 years ago.
Exactly.
That's not that long ago.
How many times has LeBron won?
I don't fucking like 5, 6.
Like 4. And so he hasn't been. Yeah, LeBron James himself is dangerous on a team, but he cannot win a playoffs by himself. He is not
No.
Jordan. He's not Kobe, where you can win a game by yourself.
So you think that the way the game might be played now and like maybe spacing, however it's different. I know Jordan would have adapted and would have been a different player. I don't know if it's hard. You're right.
Curry, he can change a game by himself. LeBron James can change the game, but he needs people to change the game because he's a facilitator.
But that's why Steph needs fucking Jimmy Butler too.
He does
Like
need-
they all do need it. Like
They all need it.
But then
You know
that's why
why?
the Suns
because
suck.
of LeBron.
Like you put too many fucking un-LeBron type of people together.
You know what makes me put a bad taste about my mouth about LeBron is the fact that he
Space Jam
started
2.
the no. Well, yes, he started the super team era,
Yes.
and that ruined a lot of basketball for a long time.
Okay, then I think you're doing yourself a disservice by adding all this baggage to watching him play tomorrow or tonight. Like I'm not being an
I won't
overstatement.
watch him.
Well, then how do you have an
Like, how
opinion?
dare you wear 23?
Then how do you have an opinion?
Because
How dare you? How is that not the
his
ultimate?
career's over, man. He's just padding stats. He's padding stats at the fourth quarter, at the end of the game. That's what he's doing. He's padding stats, and he's trying to become greater than. That's why he's playing so long. That's what I think.
Okay,
Fuck LeBron. No,
That's
that's
crazy.
I'm joking. I'm just being. I'm being extra.
I'm going to fight back because it's
I'm
why I
being
like watching
extra.
sports. I like watching great people do things great for as long as drag them off the field.
No, I don't like
drag
that.
them off the field.
Quit when you're ahead.
I think it's the most selfish thing a person can say about that.
No, you have to be unselfish and leave the room.
No,
for
you're
other
being selfish.
people.
You don't want him to. There's nobody about to take his fucking spot.
Oh yeah, the league is filled with people who will take his spot.
No, I mean, but on the Lakers, there's nobody's oversee. Like, I don't even know how to get my point across.
I can
Like,
name
you're right.
10
There's better
players.
people to fucking idolize or see or respect for their game. SGA is having a phenomenal year.
Yep.
Right, and he could be the MVP and all that. I don't want to watch every Oklahoma City fucking game.
Well, yeah. there's
Well,
that.
then what are we talking about here? What's
He
going
needs
to make
go
you
the
want to
Lakers.
watch?
He needs to go to the Lakers.
He's a Canadian. He's fucking stormed the league. He's graceful. He's got this. And he's like stylish, but he's just like a little bit boring.
He is not boring.
He's a little bit
He
not
just doesn't
show.
get
He's not
air-
flashy. I'm
He's
very
flashier
being
than LeBron.
I'm being a devil's advocate here because I love it. I love that he's there. He's everything
He's
about it.
flashier than LeBron.
Of course he is. Yes, I know. But it's just like okay, like it doesn't impress me as much. Like I'm
Okay.
like I don't know. Like I say like. Yeah, you got to do it for fucking more than 1 year to like.
Absolutely.
I get it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I agree.
Even the same thing with Luca. Like, it's just like, what are these guys? And then you just kind of watch him play a little bit. It's like, oh, there's fucking some magic there.
Yeah.
But he's just like a doughy fucking guy on the like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to go for it. You have to.
Fucking good though.
Yeah, right. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be interesting to get to see a young superstar.
When LeBron's out the way, that's what you're saying.
No, with LeBron's influence in his fucking in his back pocket. You know what I mean? Like to help him. Anthony Davis to me got
God.
better with fucking LeBron.
I feel like he got better all around, but I feel like he didn't have enough. I guess.
I
he
think if
wasn't
Zion
doing
Williamson
good.
got to play with LeBron,
Oh man, that would be. He needs that. He
so
needs
who,
something like
and
that.
who and why would he be better for playing with LeBron?
Because LeBron will make
'Cause
you
LeBron.
better. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
absolutely.
I enjoy that about him.
Absolutely.
That's something to celebrate without comparing him to anybody.
yeah.
Scottie Pippen hates Jordan.
Yeah.
Like that's something
Because
about
he
him.
wanted to be Jordan.
Yeah, I get it. And he thinks he should have got more love and he did it. And in this era, he might have because back and then it was always just one guy.
Yeah.
It's now, you know what I
That's
mean?
how
You're
it
right.
was.
LeBron bring the super team in. So now he's just like, oh, this is maybe more of a coddle generation thing. We think it's like, oh, yeah, you need your friends to help you or whatever. But that's the
But
same.
you know what's funny? That's pickup basketball. You get all your friends. You be like, yo,
Yeah.
let's go beat everybody on this court. I mean, yeah, you don't go in there and get to be on random. Well, you do sometimes, but you really ideally want to get your friends and go play basketball with your friends.
And
I mean,
it's
that
why
makes
I like
sense.
Jimmy Butler on the Golden State Warriors. I'm not a big Golden State Warriors fan. Like I love when he beat him. Can't deny like love watching Steph play. I hate Draymond Green. I think he's overrated by fucking so far. I mean, I like that kind of bully ball fucking behavior a little bit, right? But he's just whatever. He garners way more attention than me personally thinks he should get.
Yep.
But I'm not trying to be a hater. But now you add Jimmy on that team, who I love fucking would play, just ignoring all the fucking bad teammate things he could be.
Yep.
But he's just Jimmy being Jimmy. Like he's earned that in my mind, and I love watching him succeed.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
love
I have not
Jimmy
watched
Butler.
1 second of Golden State basketball, but I will if the opportunity comes once the playoffs. Because I want to see Jimmy and Steph
like
tear
Jimmy.
it up, and they're doing great. So
Yeah.
that's more basketball than I thought we were talking or whatever. There. So your F1 is starting soon, no? Like
Yeah,
they're doing that.
They're doing practice. They're doing testing right now.
This is good. They'll bridge some shit we were talking about before. Did you? There was like a life-size Lego Techniques car, F1.
Yeah, at the car show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was it?
It was. It
amazing.
wasn't F1. It was the
Oh.
McLaren P1 that Lando Norris drove on track.
Oh, so it's like a street car.
Yeah, it was a actual working Lego car.
It works.
Yeah, Lando Norris drove that actual car. That one that they brought there was the actual one.
It's a Lego car that drives.
Yeah,
Are you fucking kidding me?
yeah.
Holy
It's on
shit.
YouTube. You can see it.
Did it look amazing or what?
I mean, as amazing as a whole car of techniques you could make, like the
Techniques is driving me crazy.
right?
I turn my eyes whenever I hear that word.
But they had the actual P1, and then they had the technique one there. So yeah,
Okay, to change topics completely for the last little bit here. I do not want to jinx it at all, but I don't even want to say this. Do you think all of our bad weather is behind us. It's It's February 28th right now.
I hope. Yes, I think our bad weather is done.
So we've had a week of pretty much warm weather, and I fucking love it. Like, I'm noticing the birds chirping a little bit. I'm noticing the sun is out a little bit earlier and staying out a little bit later. And I'm like, I'm wanting to turn the corner on winter, but I don't want to jump the gun.
I know it's hard. I mean, we had threats of snow today. Today that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, but
I was very grateful. Don't think I wasn't fucking looking at the Doppler radar.
oh man,
And trying to check out what might happen. We were in a fucking huge predicament, so we haven't been together. I don't even know if I think last time we had a pod, was that maybe one of the first out of 3 huge dumps of snow we got? Like, I don't know where as a people we were in the snow situation.
I think it was our first, or just before the first dump, or after this first dump. I think it was after the first dump.
I feel like at least the last 3 weeks we have been under fucking mountains of snow.
I'm so confident we're not getting snow. My shovel's broken. I haven't bought a new one.
Did you just fucking read my mind? Whatever.
Really?
So like 4 weeks ago, I broke my only shovel. We had 2 shitty shovels. Tammy's starting to help me out a little bit because we had so much snow, and one of them was ass, and then one was good. And then we broke the good one, and so we went out shopping, like say 4 weeks ago. Went to fucking Walmart, and there's some bunch of snow shovels, and I reluctantly had to go buy one. I was like, fuck, I hate spending my money on snow shovels. It's so shit. And seeing the whole fucking collection of them, I'm going, who the fuck's buying an $80 snow shovel? This guy definitely is not buying an $80 snow shovel.
Just a regular shovel.
Yeah, like they're like, I don't know, like I'm maybe exaggerating, but the price range goes. And so I'm looking at the lower end of
Shovels are expensive.
I'm looking at the lower end of, until you have to go buy a fucking shovel, you don't realize what shovels cost.
Yeah.
So I'm looking, I get myself a $20 shovel at fucking Walmart. So this is way better than I've had for the last couple of years for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
Metal core, awesome.
You got the same one. And so I should have got the Kevlar. But so we get that, and then we get this fucking snow dumps going, and both of those are out there. I think, yeah, for sure. I think because I talked about the snowblower problem I had on one of the shows. And so in the meantime, in the dump, our bad one totally fucking busts. Like it's really bad. Like it fucking, you can put snowflake on it and it's fucking bending. So it's kind of, you could just barely do anything with it. So I'm out there with the good one. And on the worst of it all, remember, I think I either told you, I don't think I told the people, but we became the old people on the street where all of a sudden all of our neighbors are helping us fucking clear our fucking driveway. And I think it's, me, because we're fucking too old to get it done ourselves. So we're doing it that time. And when I'm doing it there at the bottom of the driveway, I go to do a load of, I hear the new shovel break.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man. And so it was almost at the end. I go deal with it. And then the next time it kind of snowed, I looked at our shovel situation and go, fuck, man, we got 2 fucking broken shovels now. And so, but this one's kind of good enough, and it snowed a couple more times. And we're like, fucking, okay, we'll work it. We're trying to work it. But now we're like, do I have to really go buy another fucking snow shovel?
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks after I already bought this?
No,
and so,
fuck it. Hold it out.
But so how much guilt should I be for even getting the cheapest one? Like, how much of this is on me?
Don't do it.
I hear you.
Don't do it. You're just going to break it, and then you're going to be like, shit, I could have bought a good one for these 2 shovels I paid for.
I have that thought, which is hard to fucking deny. So I'm like with you. I was like, fuck you, Snow. You don't deserve a new shovel. I'm going to fucking do what I got to fucking do. And so it shoveled once again or snowed again in the meantime. And it was like, Tam was like, we should go get another shovel. Goes, no, I'm not like fucking refusing. So we just deal with it what it is. And it was ass. It was hard. It was like fucking. So then we've maybe been up until now. We're in like a couple weeks that it hasn't snowed, and we're like fucking, man. Like, do you think we're having these conversations? What are we gonna do? Do we need to get a new snowshoe shovel?
Fuck it, I'm buying a shovel.
And I'm like, fuck no, this and that. So we're like, we decide, okay, fuck it. Next time we go to the store, we'll get a fucking snow shovel. So this is like maybe 2 weeks ago. We go to fucking Walmart just for a regular shopping. We go and we're like, hey, where are the snow shovels?
Yeah.
And where the fucking snow shovels are barbecues. Yeah. There's fucking lawn furniture out there. It's February 14th. Yeah. There's fucking lawn furniture and fucking, No, they couldn't have put them away already. And Tammy's like, maybe they sold out. I go, no, these fucking idiots. They fucking, it's you know what I mean? Valentine's is already today, so they're putting the Easter shit up. They're putting the patio furniture up. Like, how dare they put all the snow shovels away?
Yeah.
And so we walk around, Tammy asks some dude, like in another department, just doing shit. So, yeah, do you know where the snow shovels? And he's like, yeah, the seasonal. We were like, yeah, they got barbecues there now. He's like, oh, fuck, really? And so I was like, I don't, like, if they're not there, I don't know. So we did a double back after we finished, and I was like, God, no shovels. So we go to another, so then the next morning, we go to some more chores and go, fuck, let's go to Home Depot or Lowe's. And we actually went to Lowe's or Rona, probably Rona. It's like, fuck it, we'll go to one of those ones. We go, again, no snow shovels. Barbecues, fucking lawn furniture. I'm like, are you kidding me? Tammy's like, they probably sold out. I'm refusing to believe they sold
You
out.
know, there's Amazon, right?
We looked,
Oh,
yeah.
so-
And like, so we fucking, so that's again. But I'm just like, am I ordering a fucking snow shovel? now I'm on my Mount Pius, like fucking, like, how dare they put all the snow shovels away?
Yeah.
Who are these fucking people? And I'm unconvinced that
Fucking February.
I'm fucking unconvinced that they're sold out. Tammy asked again at customer service at Lowe's, like, you know, do you guys have any snow shovels? Like, what's up? And she's like, no, we sold out. And I'm like, I still don't believe it. I'm like almost cursing, like, go fuck yourself. Like, as I'm leaving, right? So now I'm starting to eye snow shovels on people's fucking patios. I'm fucking walking around. We go to visit her dad at the old folks home, and I'm looking at the shovel they have at the entrance by their,
fuck that,
and I'm
take
like,
that
God
shit.
damn, that's a fucking nice shovel. Look at the
at
metal
that.
edge.
Is it-
I'm
is
an
it
expert
metal?
in shovels now. I fucking like look at the fucking metal edge at the bottom. I'm like, that's about a $65 shovel.
Is that a reinforced back?
I look at it. Wow, can you add an extra handle? Is this like what I seen on Devil's or Dragon's Den?
Yeah.
And I'm fucking like, I'm really considering, like, a 16-year-old version of these thoughts was stealing that shovel, fucking guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't. What type of person am I stealing the old man's
The
shovel?
one who needs a shovel.
That's what I'm thinking. So I go and I'm like, I can't even buy one.
Yeah.
And then so we saw the Amazon and we're seeing like, fuck, can we get away with, like, in this budget sense? You know what I mean? Like, we're not buying ourselves nice things on Amazon. So I'm like, fuck that. And then so we started hearing, so this week comes and we're like fucking thinking we don't think we're going to get away with it. And so other than going and then Tim goes on Canadian Tire and like they have some shovels. Should we get one? And we're like, fuck, you know what? If we don't get one, it's for sure going to snow.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we buy one and it doesn't snow again.
That's how it works.
And it'll snow next year, I'm pretty sure. So
At least one.
and so we're like, fuck it. So we ended up breaking down and we went and got a new shovel from Canadian Tire.
I need to get a shovel.
Yeah, I'm
I
telling you.
really want to get an electric shovel.
What's the difference between that and a snowblower?
It's smaller and you just shovel it away type of thing.
I want an electric snowblower. I got to find out what's wrong with my gas
I just don't want
snowblower.
to spend the electric snowblower money.
Me neither. I think I actually don't think there's much wrong with the one I have. I think I just got to do what people said.
Put new gas
Like, yeah,
in it.
take the gas out, put new gas in.
Yeah.
But I'm just that lazy, or I don't want to think about snow that much. I'm that bad
hate
at
snow.
helping my future self out.
I test drove an electric vehicle.
At the show, why didn't you say that at the beginning of the show?
Oh, I didn't get to it.
Well, I cut you off. So, what type of electric vehicle did you test?
It was an Audi SUV.
And what's the verdict? Is that your first electric
So
vehicle?
it's the first time I've driven one. Yes.
Have you been in one before?
Yes.
Whose electric vehicle have you been in before?
Ganesh.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he has a Tesla.
And what, you just went to the fucking store? Like
Nah, not even. We went around the parking lot.
You drove it or he drove,
it. I never drove one before.
That's interesting.
So they've had this electric test drive track for a while, right? And so I just didn't go last year or the year before. This year, I decided, I said, for sure I'm going. The line was empty. They had the most electric cars that I've seen them had. There was probably maybe 10, 12 electric different cars you could pick. So I just picked Audi. And that line was empty. That electric Escalade I was talking about earlier was one of them, but that line was like 3 people. I didn't want to wait for that. So it was me and Kai who went because Sire was too small to go on. So Sire and Selena had to wait. So we were waiting and we went in and it was all good. It's weird, but you get used to it very quickly.
What's weird? The accelerator, like starting off?
No, the stopping.
Stop.
When you have regenerative braking on and it stops for you. So I lied. I have driven the Ford Lightning at work.
Okay.
But that doesn't count because we went around like a whole track twice.
Yeah.
So this was my first time driving it. And like, yeah, I don't know if I'm 100% sold. I like that. What I did realize though is that I like that current car manufacturers making electric cars. I think I prefer over a fully electric car company like Tesla or like Rivian or Lucid or any of these companies like that. That make only electric cars because it's more familiar. It's more like you're driving an electric gasoline vehicle.
You had the feeling you were still in a car.
Yeah, just because how all the controls are. Like
Does a Tesla not feel like you're in a car?
Teslas have like all these Teslas have different things. Like you might have your shifters in a different spot. You might not have a shifter. You might not have a cluster gauge in front of you. It might be off to the side. You know, stuff like that. Your window controls might be different. Your signals might be different. So things like that. Like the Cybertruck, the steering wheel doesn't spin all the way around. You'd only turn like this, like half turns. Like that's all you do. It's like maxed out. So there's a lot of things that electric cars do to be different than like what a conventional car company does with their cars.
Do you think they're doing it just to be different, or there's a rhyme to them? Is it like unnecessary? Like
Innovation, I think they're just trying to be innovative because the Cybertruck has 4-wheel steering, so you don't necessarily need to spin the wheels all the way around.
but that's not the only car or truck out there that has that.
But it's the only one that has it to that extent, as big as the radius is.
I think I'm surprised that you feel that way because you're such a technology geek.
Yeah.
Like I saw this clip. I should try to find this and send it to you. It was a motorcycle that had balls for wheels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And it had all this range of movement. And be like, that'd be really weird to see that like out there. But like, why isn't it better?
Yeah.
Other than just tradition?
Get rid of limits.
Like, yeah, like you could just do all these things, but it'd be just really hard to actually implement.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know why anybody would want it, but it will seem cool to me. Like it just did seem the way to go. Mm-hmm. Like it did seem a way to be like, there's vacuum cleaners before Dyson. And now there's vacuum cleaners.
Absolutely.
Like you're not buying.
You just got a new vacuum.
But I bet you it's more like a Dyson than anything. Like once that technology got to be stolen, right? Like isn't that really what it is? Like, they get to fucking like back engineer it or whatever, and now there's a fucking whatever Clean Shark or do something like, or they only have a certain amount of time for that proprietary fucking technology. And so, you know what I mean? Like, Tammy's got
it's more so first to market.
Tammy's, well, like, I know that Dyson also makes, I'm just compared to like a totally different way of doing things. Like, it still looks like a vacuum in a way, but it's like totally different. Like, and nobody's going back to a vacuum bag or, you know what I mean? Like that other way. I'm guessing. I'm not looked at fucking, I don't even look at my vacuum. So I don't even know. I just know that she pushes around the one with the fucking Dyson motor in it. And it is a Dyson one, But Christmas, I bought her a fucking hair dryer. That's it's a knockoff of a Dyson one.
Is it the Shark?
No, I don't know what it is. I don't trust me. I stay further away from the hair dryer than I do the fucking vacuum. But I do know that it's like she's very happy with it, and it's fucking so cool. And she's the one who told me, "Oh, it's like a knockoff of the Dyson one, and it's like very hot. It does if you're not careful, it could be so much hotter than a real one." Like it just like the fan and the fucking vacuum cleaner, like it just generates all this power way better than another one.
Well, you know what's funny? The Dyson, Selena has the Dyson hairdryer, and it doesn't get that hot.
Well, I don't know what she's saying then. Like,
no, I'm just saying like a lot of companies imitate more design. They can't do certain things exactly how Dyson does it. So I don't think I'm just disagreeing with the stealing, and I'm changing it to imitation.
Imitation is the way, but it's. Okay, like
that's all I'm saying.
Same thing, but
no, it's not the same thing, Jay.
If Dyson doesn't make that technology, then they have no idea how to do it.
It's not so much. They just had a different motor that they made smaller. That's really their technology. They made a motor smaller that they can fit in a lot of their things, and that's why they've been able to like a very powerful motor.
I'm getting off topic. I'm just meaning like the difference between a Dyson fan with the blades and however they make that little Dyson fan thing
same motor
work. I get it. Then they turn it from their vacuum to a fan to a fucking hair dryer.
Yeah.
But without them doing that, then I can't buy one for a quarter of the price. You're right, imitation. But now that the technology is out there, then they do it. Like Travis Pastrana does a double backflip, then all of a sudden somebody else can do a double backflip.
Now that it's proven and people see that they can do it and people will pay for it, then other people will do it.
So I think we're getting back to this is why you love Jordan better than him, because everybody's just a pale imitation.
Thank you, Jay. When did you have to make my points for me?
Yeah, but I'm just saying I think it's a blind spot.
Wait, what? No. I thought we're on the same page.
Because I don't think nobody's going to go back to a fucking Hoover fucking 96 fucking vacuum. Like I'm making
You'd
Jordan.
Be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I don't want to, but at this point I'm saying that LeBron is the Dyson.
What?
Yeah, I'm wrong. I don't
can't
want to say that's what it
really-
sounds like.
I mean,
Like, you know what I mean? Like that hybrid of a
I can't
player.
argue with you right now because I don't have enough
That's why
time.
Ovechkin is a better goal scorer than Gretzky because he just concentrates on goal scoring. Like Dyson just concentrates on sucking, like LeBron. I'm sorry.
Well, now they make flans, so they did blow too.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like it makes more sense if that's where you're going.
Yeah,
but I
for
do
sure.
think you're picky and choosy in that. I do
Yeah.
think, you know what I mean? Like you love all this technology and by you saying that you like the car to still be a car instead of whatever else it could be, like a motorcycle on a ball instead of wheels.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to see that on the road, but you know what I mean? Like just like all the kids flying around or people flying around on e-bikes. Like that was just a dream to a kid like me in fucking 1979 or 8
And
or
now
whatever.
look.
And now they're like, you don't do it. Like it's almost fucking odd. Hey, is that just a pedal bike? Is that guy actually just
What are you
riding? Is that,
doing?
like, he's not even on a fucking e-bike.
Yeah.
And then you just see him like on the roads, on the sidewalks.
Where the hell is he exercising when he doesn't have?
That's what I mean. As a grumpy old man, you go, oh, these kids today,
Yeah.
they're flying by me on their scooters and all that. But just like,
Their feet are in the air.
yeah, but I would have, of course, I would have been all
Yeah,
over
that would be
it.
great.
Right? So that's what I mean. Like nobody's going back
Yeah, that's
except for
true.
you when it's convenient.
Well, everybody's going back when they want to work out.
What do you mean?
That's
work
a
out?
different conversation for another day. I want to
Why
thank
would you say that
everyone
at the
for
end?
listening to the work-related podcast.
Apparently, we're related by work on Twitter. Well, we
on
are related
X.
by work on Twitter.
I'm about to show Jay my new vacuum. I'm going to ask him if he ever goes back, but he stays far from it. So maybe I should ask Tammy.
I try to help when I can. I'm old school sweeper.
Oh,
See you guys
God.
next week.